Oh, all right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 85. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, and we've got Spider Man dominating MPD, Red Dead Redemption 2 impressions, Crackdown 3 online destruction, Banjo-Kazooie news, Game Pass to PC, and XCloud controllers to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only considered a true friend to the realm, but from the very beginning has always demonstrated the utmost passion for gaming, both past and present. This Lord exemplifies the epitome of balanced perspective, will call out hypocrisy if seen, yet at the same time is never afraid to challenge his own opinions on the latest gaming topics. Introducing the host and creator of the J. Fonzerrelli YouTube channel, everyone's favorite podcast panelist, and Captain Neutral himself, fellow combat sports fan, fellow retro gamer, and the Lord who has arrived on horseback to remind everyone why Red Dead 2 is the GOAT of 2018. Making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord J. Fonzerrelli. How you doing, sir?
Thank you for that great intro. And anytime somebody says fellow retro gamer, they're really saying old ass gamer. That's what they say. So
Fellow geriatric.
yeah, I got those arthritic fingers playing these games.
Yeah, that's the addict I know, baby.
Listen, man,
He
that's
looking
OG
like
talk.
he looking like White King. You saw that? That was beautiful, baby. I saw that honey.
Addict looking, he looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No doubt, man. Great to have you in the realm. Long overdue to have you back. It's been a while. We got a lot of games to discuss, right?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of games, and man, I've been putting in that time on Red Dead. We'll get to that.
We're going to get into that. You already know. And you know we have the four horsemen of gaming, those original lords of the realm, here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf.
The
My
knee
man.
bender. Yeah.
Oh my God. My man. Lord
Get it.
Addict, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little under the weather.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, I
hear you.
know. Those MPDs got you sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You are terrible. What have you been playing, Addict? Have you touched possibly the GOAT of 2018? Did you get a chance to touch the game?
Spider-Man, you touched the goat?
Oh my Lord. Addict, is he there?
Addict's under the table, man.
It's under the rope.
What? Sorry, I
That's-
was talking to my brother.
Okay, it's cool, man. I know you got a lot of stuff. The chat is just loving King right now. But now say you have touched any of the game of the year, potentially that Red Dead?
I don't even want to talk about that right now.
All righty then.
All I want to do is get through the show.
Savage.
Low key, I'm gonna do this bend the knee
Mhm.
thing, and then I'm probably getting off because I don't feel good.
All right, bro.
All right.
Appreciate that. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
You know how I'm doing. You know,
How are your eyes doing after
my
the
eyes
late
are
night
not
blaze
great right
session?
now. Yeah, they're not. They're bleeding right now. I have literal blood coming from my eye.
He has
Beyond
blood
that,
coming from his eyes,
I
Spidey.
am good. I am doing fantastic, man.
Oh my
I really
God,
am. I'm
King.
a little tired, but yo, King is a fool.
King is a
King
fool.
is
I
a
can't even. I can't look at him. I was not gonna be able to do the show.
Let's get it, baby. This is it.
No.
MPDs is here. Let's go.
Real quick before we shoot it off to King, a couple of housekeeping notes really quickly. First off, Patreon, guys.
Yes.
So Patreon has decided to move away from language that speaks about any sort of giveaways or anything like that.
Yes.
Apparently, there've been a few Patreon campaigns that have been less than savory, shall we say, and people have not been receiving what they've been promised. Like here at the Iron Lords podcast, so long as the palm is greased, you always get what you're promised. You always get it. So apparently we had a few bad apples that ruined it for everyone on Patreon, so we had to remove all the language indicating what you would be getting at various tiers. So don't fret. It's all still there. We're still doing it just the same way. We just have to figure out how to change that language on the Patreon itself. Right now, it seems like the tiers have no differentiation. So as soon as we can figure that out with Patreon, it'll be changed. So anybody new coming to the fold, same thing. If you guys see anybody question, like, what the heck is this? Just let them know. Everything is still in place. Giveaways, monthly stuff is still in place. Second, big shout out to our Gleam Red Dead Redemption 2 winner, Royal Tartufo in Portugal, who at this moment should be finally finished downloading Red Dead 2 and playing it on his PlayStation 2. So congrats to him. Enjoy the game. Secondly, Lords, as a big thank you to all you guys being here every single week in the chat, listening to the show. We have a Red Dead 2 code to give away today. Woo! So
what?
Be on the lookout. It's for PlayStation 2. Be on the lookout in the chat. We're gonna do
PlayStation 2.
stuff.
They can make it
2.
Okay. Oh, so sorry. My bad.
Like, what type of Red Dead are you giving away?
It's for PlayStation 2. It contains exactly 5 pixels, and that's the whole game.
In the Bush's edition.
Below 860p.
That's a 250p edition.
The 250p edition.
It's a PS4. It's a PS4. It's gonna be in the chat. We're gonna try to do some fun stuff to see who gets it in the chat. So as a big thank you to you guys for being here all the time. So that's that.
That's doubt, man. All right. And of course we have, I don't even know who we have. I can't even call you the incredible, the amazing Spider-Man.
Citizen, address me as my given name, the Spectacular.
AKA the XS Spider-Man Gamer. The Lord of Combat Sports. You too ready. The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Oh,
quick. I don't like how quick you are. Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic, Citizen. Yes. Oh, I don't give a dang about MPDs, but this is one MPD that I care about. It's only because it's tied to a bet, a beautiful bet. And I told you, when I win, baby, the king wins big. It's grandissimo. Pause. Yo, it is so crazy that it is the craziest selling game in PlayStation history. Yes. Yes. Somebody said last week, what they said last week? They said, I have it by good authority that it ain't true, that you gonna be in the bushes. It looked like them MPDs done got my man sick. Oh my God.
So we'll let you do your victory lap on your segment.
Okay, let me tell you what I was playing this week.
What was you playing, sir?
I was playing Spider-Man.
Surprise.
Let me tell you, Gene. Let me tell you. I was playing Spider-Man. Look at that. All right, mean Gene. Let me tell you. So I was playing Spider-Man, and then I played some Tekken. Because I was forced by Tekken on that system to play hip hop, and nice. Oh my God, that Tekken is so amazing. It just took me back to when we was playing. I played some Destiny. I played some Horizon. I'm trying to flesh out all my backlog. See, my backlog with PlayStation 4 is small, so just knock all of that stuff out. But I had to address fraud stuff.
Fraud alert.
Yeah. It was sad this week. I felt disheartened by what our community is becoming, and what I didn't like is I have friends this week that got into a disagreement, and then you had hanger-ons that were amping the situation up that don't know these individuals, and all these individuals in their own right are good men.
Yes.
Okay, and these are men, not no little boys.
Correct.
These are men. All right, and they have always all three of them have always treated me as a man and has welcomed me and have been very, very good, good guys to me.
Absolutely.
All right, and I have nothing but kind words to say about all individuals involved. What I didn't like was the vitriol that was thrown at individuals from either side, from the hanger-ons that don't know these people and exacerbated a situation that didn't need to be exacerbated. Listen, guys, you own a piece of plastic. You didn't do anything special. You went to the store, you purchased a piece of plastic. And to denigrate and disrespect people who don't have the financial stability to purchase multiple pieces of plastic and to game everywhere, that shows your character. All right. I'm pretty sure that everyone, regardless of their financial situation, will love to game everywhere possible if they're a gamer. So to disrespect someone because they financially are not able to have the same exact thing that you are, that's wrong.
Yep.
All right. And you didn't do anything special. So all this red versus blue, there's no such thing as red versus blue. You purchase a piece of plastic. They work for you because you're buying games and you're putting money in their pocket. All right. So you are employing these companies. All right. You're employing Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, any other gaming system that you choose to game on. You are employing these guys. They actually work for you. So sitting there worrying about numbers, like you on stock, you don't own stock in the company. Sitting there talking about who sold what and what has what pixels and what, that doesn't matter when you're gaming. We all share the same love. So for people to sit here and continue to say stuff like Sony and Nintendo sucks and Microsoft sucks, and okay, fine if you feel that way, but you don't have to go after somebody else because of their financial choices. All right, it's a piece of plastic, guys, and just keep it 100% gaming because a friend of mine got banned this week. He said something that was wrong, and I'm not taking any sides in any of this. I just want you to understand that I respect everybody involved. I'm not taking anyone's side. But what I'm saying is a conversation could have been had backdoor that could have stopped all of this before it even got to the point that it was. And hanger-ons, people that don't know these people at all, exacerbated it and turned it into something that should have never been.
Facts, and you killed that. Well said. We all know the parties involved. We don't get into the specifics, but at the end of the day, it's about gaming. It's about plastic boxes. No one owns any stock. I mean, I couldn't even say it any better, Ken. You killed that. So it's just like, look, at the end of the day, keep it gaming all the way 100. You know what I'm saying? And let's have fun out here. And we got jokes and fun stuff on the Lord's Day today, so we can get y'all mind off the negativity. But of course, it is I, LordCognito, here, the gaming ninja himself, the shinobi, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, it's just been, I just started, Red Dead last night, got a couple hours in, maybe 5 to 6. We'll get into that. Destiny 2 Festival of the Lost, been doing that. And then I got my man Jay Fonz in the building, so I get to talk a little MMA. Just a little bit, Fonz. Can we talk a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about that whole trade deal that went through, huh?
Yeah, man. And I'm glad you brought it up because you
are the trade in MMA.
The first trade in MMA history. I'm glad Fon's here because he's a good friend of Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson, and then he's going to educate me on Ben Askren, who the UFC just received. So again, UFC and One Championship have been the first ever, at least I know, trade. So tell me what's going on here, Fonz, man.
That's crazy.
What's going on?
We all know Demetrius Johnson is the man that has been the flyweight champ for so long. He just recently got defeated by split decision by Henry Cejudo in the UFC. But forever, people were talking about how they wanted to see Demetrius Johnson fight better talent because in the flyweight division, I mean, he was running through all them people. I mean, he even beat Cejudo the last time they fought. And this last fight was questionable as well.
Yes.
I don't think Cejudo really, they say you have to beat the champ. Well, that was debatable because he took him down and laid on him a lot. So it's MMA. I know it's something they do, but so there was a lot of Demetrius Johnson felt like he was always being picked on in the UFC. He felt like that pressure to move up was always there, and he didn't like hearing it. He wanted to be the champ in the flyweight division and stay the champ forever, pretty much. So he wasn't hearing that for years now, and everybody was screaming, move up, move up. Nobody wants to see these little guys fight and all this stuff. I personally love Demetrius Johnson. I think that I think he's one of the best fighters to ever fight in mixed martial arts. He's amazing to watch. He's very well rounded. He does some incredible things in the cage. But I myself wanted to see him fight better competition. I wanted him to move up and fight people like TJ Dillashaw.
TJ Dillashaw, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Facts.
And he just wouldn't do it. So this trade is more interesting than just on a level of them wanting to get some money for him because he wouldn't move up. You're looking at a guy over across the pond in Ben Askren. And when I say across the pond, this whole ONE FC organization, they're based out of Asia, and they do their fights over there mostly. And they have a lot of fighters from the US that fight over there. And Ben Askren was one of those guys that came from Bellator.
Yes.
And in Bellator, I used to watch him back then. He was very, very dominant. He's never lost a fight. The guy.
So he's undefeated?
Yeah, he's 18-0.
Wow.
And he's basically a very dominant wrestler that honestly, he's a lot like Khabib. And I have to mention Khabib here because I think this has something to do with them going.
Yes, I agree.
My speculation is that they want another guy who's just as talented in that realm as Khabib Nurmagomedov, and they want to bring him over to potentially fight Khabib. And nobody's saying really anything about this, but this is my speculation. This is something I think that they're putting in to do because hearing Ben Askren talk over the years, he wanted nothing to do with the UFC. Dana White himself wanted nothing to do with Ben Askren.
Yes.
Because Dana White, this is where Dana White shows that his lack, like he's not stupid when it comes to the mixed martial arts game, but sometimes he is, in my opinion. Like sometimes he just doesn't get all the different facets of mixed martial arts. And wrestling is a very big
part. Yeah.
And a lot of these dudes that take others down and won't let them get back up. Sometimes Dana White has a problem with that. And he wants to see people stand and bang, it seems like more often than not.
More often than not. Yeah. Because of the appealing, I know where you're going, and not to cut you, but you're nailing it because unfortunately, the wrestler style sometimes is not the more flashy style, but it's the most effective.
But it's not pleasing at all for the crowd and unpacking speech.
So he struggles with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he struggles.
And I think at times he likes that more the boxing. He likes to watch the boxing go on.
Yeah, he does because that actually will get the casual in. That's his thing. He wants that casual buck.
When I first started watching UFC myself back in the day, we're going back to UFC 1, when they just 400 pounders in against 100.
When they used to be like karate versus boxing. Yeah. That was my joint.
So it was all just free for all stuff. But as time went on, they got sanctioned. They were creating a sport in itself. They were actually developing this whole MMA thing, where all these sports were intertwining and people were really getting involved in different facets of the sport. And the cool thing about it is that once I got in and got past the whole, they're not just standing and banging, I was starting to learn what they were trying to do around, the whole ground game. I was starting to learn, he's trying to go for a Kimura. He's trying to go for a rear naked choke. He's trying to go for a triangle. I started to learn this stuff by just watching. And people do get sucked in after a while and go, wow, this is amazing. This groundwork is awesome to watch, the defensive moves and all this. It really becomes entertaining to you. So, with Ben Askren, he's a guy like Nurmagomedov that likes to take people down and just beat them. He likes to just rain down punches.
And they're saying that he could be a threat to Khabib. Like Ty Woodley said that there's no doubt that Askren would wash Khabib. And I'm like, whoa. So I got to learn about this guy, man.
Here's the thing. If you look at his record, though, I will say that the one negative thing is he hasn't fought a lot of known guys. Ben Askren really hasn't fought a lot of known guys. The biggest guy he's fought is Douglas Lima, which was a 2-time champ in Bellator, which is not saying much per se, but he is a decent fighter. He's really good. He could make it in the UFC and do pretty well. But the way he washes these guys, the way he takes them down and won't let them up, like he's relentless.
So Fonz, let me get the gist of this. The deal is they got rid of UFC gave up Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So they gave up Mighty Mouse for this possible opponent for Habib, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you feel that because I believe Dana already concedes the fact that he doesn't want to put in his cash cow to get further damaged by putting him in with Habib, right? And I mean, seriously, because I didn't really think that Conor was actually ready from his first fight back. His hubris was too much to take that type of fight from an active fighter that of that magnitude, probably once in a generation type fighter, to put him in there with him. And we saw the results. I don't care what Conor did the first round. It was pretty much more of what Khabib wanted to do. That's what happened. So now that you say that they're bringing over this fighter who is an active fighter, and maybe his resume doesn't speak to the language that might appeal to certain people, but you saying that he might pair up well with Habib, and as far as grappling,
do you think he could beat Khabib?
Yeah.
I just need to know because I don't know about dude. So Fonz, I need straight up. What do you think?
100% yes.
Wow.
I think he's a much better wrestler than Khabib. I think he's much better.
That's huge.
I think that the guy, I've seen him take too many people down and they did not get back up. Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to hit me in the DM with his link so I can check this stuff out, because I thought when I saw Habib fight, I watched his last 7 fights and I saw a complete total fighter.
Is this guy like Olympic level wrestler? I mean, because Khabib was wrestling with Cormier, and you know, I'm shocked that you said that. Wow.
Look, I've been watching this guy for many years.
He's been wrestling bears since the
bears too. Animals.
Like, any man who wrestles livestock and wild animals.
Don't get it twisted, though. Don't get it twisted. Tony Ferguson still is going to have that next shot and he deserves it. And Tony Ferguson, by all accounts, is the guy that has the tools to beat Khabib. He does. I mean, the guy is amazing. He's very well-rounded, great on his back. So if Khabib does take him down, it's not over for him.
Gotcha.
He has a lot of tools to actually stop Khabib from the bottom. So, but here's the thing: Ben Askren, been watching him for many years, and this is a guy that I've been hoping that he would get to the UFC one day and fight some elite talent, because I've always thought he's got it. I'm not the only one who said this. There's a lot of people within the community that's been pushing for this for many years. Joe Rogan is one of them as well. However, Dana White, I think this deal has nothing to do with Dana White at the end of the day, because Dana White hates Ben Askren.
Right.
Despises Ben Askren.
Right. They've had beef.
I think this new company that's taken over the UFC, this is more of their idea.
I
think it has nothing to do with Dana White. But you know what? It's very interesting, it being the first big trade in mixed martial arts. Demetrius Johnson, though, I am very sad to see him go, because like I said, I like watching him. Unfortunately, for the pay-per-view draw, it just wasn't there for him.
No, fair enough. A great assessment.
What does DJ feel about it? What is he?
He's happy. He's on Twitter, posted like ready to creep out. I saw his Twitter. He seemed excited. You know, I think the vibe I get from
I don't think you don't have a choice.
No, but here's the thing. From what I've heard, he already has a relationship with the president of one champ. They've had they go back. The vibe I'm getting is that he's been feeling disrespected as one of their most dominant champions. You know,
I think Dana disrespects a lot of these fighters in the sense that, well, we all know that the purse strings aren't as big as they should be for these fighters that I deem NFL type fighters. Right. Because they're not for long. They're very short. Their career is actually shorter than any boxer that you can bring up, any other fighters that you can bring up, wrestlers and stuff like that. So these guys, I think, should be getting paid bigger bang for the buck as it goes along. I'm hoping that this new company that's purchased the UFC will start implementing those purses to be distributed in a fashion that doesn't just reward the top earners and it rewards the undercards as well, because if you look at these guys' purses, their purses are $5,000. That's not enough to run a camp. You understand? Right. And you telling somebody, okay, and you wondering why these guys is fighting this month and he's on the next card the next month, or he's doing a show here, is because they're getting paid pittance. You understand? And if they can't act like, you know, like some of the other guys, they're starting to get pushed to the side, like Tyrone Woodley. That I don't like the treatment of a champion, and in a way that he's not pleasing to the promoter in that sense, and he's actively disrespecting his champion on the way through. I mean, even trying to give him short ends of the purse strings, you know. So I mean, I can go on about what I don't like with the practices, but I do hope that this new guy, please send it to me, Fonz, in the link, so I can watch his fights, because I'm trying to learn. Like, because I still call it a bare naked choke.
It's not a bare naked.
You know what? I think my version of it is a whole lot better, because it sounds like something you do not want to get caught with. That bare naked choke.
I used to get so mad watching UFC. He's like, yo, he got him in the bare naked choke. I'm like,
and we're together, and he keeps telling me the right way, and I'm like, no, but it's the bare naked choke, because he got him bare naked.
David, you know what though? I think I would rather not it be called a room, because I don't want to be called by anybody naked behind me, right?
Thank you, Buzz. We got to move on, man. We got a lot of show, and obviously we have a segment to get through. Your Lord Addict has been waiting patiently. So, yeah, man, just real quick. So, I just want to do, I know I did the state of the the giveaway. So, you know, we got that coming. You know, I just want to also double down. We actually have new line coming out. Lords of the Hollow and the Feast is live. So on the Iron Lord store. So, you know, get that pumpkin, that sweet potato. You know what I'm saying? Got that sweet potato orange ready for Halloween. And you got those various turkey gray assortments. I'm going to put that link in the description as well. So make sure you guys head out over there. We got, like I said, a little holiday line, something fun. And we actually have a ton more options. So if you click in there, it's not just the orange, it's just not just the gray. It's also going to be other colors, other styles. We got the socks. We got a whole bunch of things going, man. Please check that out. Get yourself a part of the Lord of the Hollows in the gray.
Get that mug, man. Get the mug, man.
Mug is fire, man. A lot of people showing me what they got. The hoodies are moving out here. Winter's coming. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you get that Halloween edition, Lord of the Hollows and the gray.
Don't let them White Walkers catch you without your Iron Lord hoodie.
It's definitely the best logo in the game.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So now we got into what the Lord's been playing, and Lord's Fonz has already kind of. If you haven't been living under a rock, you haven't been following us. We've done Lord Fonz's ILP gaming history, ILP number 47. So go in the backlog and check that out. The man has a tremendous history, and this is not his first rodeo here on the Iron Lord Round Table. But the realm needs to know two things real quick: what you've been playing, as far as right now. Surprise! I think I already know what that is. And you also want to give us our top five, your top five revised, right? Or you good? You solid with the last time you were here with your top five?
When I was here the last time, you caught me with that question, and I was thinking about the thousands of games that I played since 36 years ago, and I'm like, what am I going to draw out of my hat, right?
Yeah.
So I totally botched that up. I couldn't think of the ones to put in order, but I got them today. Okay, you guys today. I need to put it out there.
Let's go.
Okay?
Clarity.
All right. Number 5 would be Mass Effect 2.
That's one of my favorites. That's
one of my favorite games ever. That series is amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Except for the last one. That one's in the bushes.
That one.
Then, of course, number 4, you got Final Fantasy VII. One of my all-time favorite games.
Addict's happy.
Reason that. Number 3, I have Halo Combat Evolved.
Nice. The classic.
Such an amazing game. Number 2. A lot of people aren't going to like my top 2, but hey, it's my top 2.
Let's go.
Last of Us. Second game, favorite game ever. I love the story. The emotion that I have to this game, the emotional tie.
Yes.
Number one, Red Dead Redemption, all-time favorite game. Love it. I've never played a game a second time. I played Red Dead Redemption 3 times. I had to play it on the X as well because it's beautiful on the X, guys. Man, wonderful story. Anyway, that's my top 5.
Dude, beautiful list. First of all, that list is fantastic. That's a tough list right there to beat, man. Salute. Glad you revised it. So this way we got ultimate clarity. So we're gonna move on. And last week's poll results are in. The people have spoken to the question. In reference to both the negative and positive testimonials regarding crunch conditions at Rockstar Studios, what statement closely represents your sentiments regarding game release deadline environments? The winner at 44% of the vote is the crunch is only an issue if there is no OT or compensation group.
There we go.
Coming in at second at 29% was the no one is forced to do anything in regards to employment. Crunch is a choice group. At third place at 17% was the companies will coerce you. These companies will coerce you into extreme hours crunch is wrong group. And at last place at 10% was the I don't care if Red Dead don't release on time, I'm going to crunch the studio group. Thanks to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Lord Sav, what do you think about this?
I mean, I said it last week. To me, if there are conditions that are not agreeable to you at your job, you need to walk away. You need to try to fix this first, and if that is not something that's feasible, then you need to walk away for your own sanity. I'm not staying any place that's making me unhappy. That said, when you're a salaried employee and you're an at-will employee, which is like 90% of employees in the country, you're going to be put in positions sometimes where you're going to be asked to work or quote unquote forced to work more hours for the same pay. And that, again, there are things that need to change in industry as a whole, not just the gaming industry. These are things that are not unique to the gaming industry. That's something that needs to change. It's not fair that you get paid a flat rate salary and then the hours you put in are double of somebody who's on the clock. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, man. So that's what we got, man. And Alphonse, how did you feel real quick? Because I know this is a big topic for you as well.
I feel a lot like Sav here. I also feel that that I need to say that these companies do also disclose that as well before you get hired on. They usually tell you, look, you're going to be expected of a lot. You're going to be expected to stay here some days, many hours. I know they did it with my company. They do it with they disclose that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's fair necessarily. I'm not saying that it's right that people work 100+ hours. Believe me, when I've done that, it sucks. It's terrible. No quality of life. But this is not a new thing to the gaming industry. This is known. So that's how I feel.
All right. So we are going to get into what we are here for.
So them knees though. Hashtag them knees though. Hashtag them knees though.
So we're gonna set this up. Obviously, we know Spidey has dominated NPD, sold faster than God of War.
So you want me to talk about that topic?
I'm gonna give it to you, but I want to frame it.
Frame that.
Before we give it to Lord King, let's set the stage, obviously, with the MPD results, Lords. Obviously, Spider-Man is the obvious standout success from September. Despite launching only exclusively for the PS4, it outperformed every other multi-plat release for the month. That is crazy from a historical perspective. According to Matt Piscatella, our good friend on the Realm and MPD, it's the best-selling game of September, achieved the highest launch month dollar sales for any PlayStation exclusive in history, and is the 7th largest launch ever achieved by any game on the PlayStation platform. And then basically how he curated it, he also said that from their launch month, their sales of this Spider-Man was 37% higher than the combined launch month sales of every Spider-Man game ever released combined. That is insane. And they've been tracking since 1990.
That's Spidey King making people bend the knee.
So obviously this was a point of contention for many months. We know this was the very fierce battle between Lord King and Lord Attic, and Bend the Knee is here. So Lord King, the floor is yours, and then we'll get Addict ready.
No. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this. No, let me do this bend the knee thing so I can go back to my PC.
Lord Addict, any final words before the camera comes on? And you have anything to say to the people?
No, I don't.
All right, let's get it on.
I want to wait for my mic. You know, my $250 mic, and I'm using this phone. I don't like it.
Lord Addict, the floor is yours.
The floor is yours, literally. The knees, though. Let's get the full body.
Hold on. Look, there you go. There you go.
Wait a second. The second knee.
We gotta see both them knees on the ground.
Oh my God.
I want to see them knees.
My man. Woo!
Man of his
Yes. Let's get those screenshots and DM Lord King so he can get the t-shirts made of Lord Addict on his knees.
Stop it.
No, that was my deal. I told you I was making t-shirts out of that.
I'll try to halt production. Lord King, this is your moment. I'm going to focus the camera on you. You are here. You waited. You fought valiantly. This is your moment.
No, I want to say something real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I have to
Feel the energy.
Get at it.
I'm sick. You're going to have to leave me alone, okay?
No. I don't care about your sickness.
If you're not going to let me talk, I'm just going to leave. Like,
Let him go.
Talk.
He's a man of his word.
I have to, my hat's off to Lord King David. I still would make the same bet, regardless, because, look, at the end of the day, there's no excuses that can be used. He can go over there, be praying to his Messiah, wherever the hell he's doing right now. He won the bet fair and square. I do think that, when it was announced, we didn't really go into specifics. The numbers we were referring to was world numbers. But we didn't go into specifics of what it was. I was meaning world numbers, but I guess MPD somehow got brought into it. But I got personally tired of dealing with it, so I was like, I'm just gonna take the L so we can move on with it.
I appreciate you bringing your head before the shopping block. Bend the knee was very epic. Thank you, sir, for being a man of your word.
I just have a question. Do you ever win bets, King? Because you acting like you never win bets. This is the first
We've
time
said this before. Don't ever bet with King, because if you lose, you will hear it the rest of your life.
I see, you know what? I'm being quiet right now because I don't want him to dip out and dodge out. So right now, all I'm doing is grabbing the energy from all this Spidey maniacs all over the world.
I know. I appreciate it. You do got to bounce out, or you stay up a little bit?
I just don't feel good.
Oh, okay, man. Now, I appreciate you being.
I was. When I woke up this morning, I was like, man, because I've been throwing up and stuff, and I was like, I don't know.
Spidey can do that to you.
I mean, I still think God of War is a way better game, but that's just me.
And millions of people will tell you you're wrong, sir.
Well, Metacritic said you wrong.
Well, you know what Metacritic can do, right? For 25 years, there's only one. There can only be one.
Man beat by almost 10 points, right?
And it's Spider-Man.
It had a better.
And you're gonna have to respect what put your knees to the ground.
No, listen. Now we respect.
You even beat Spider-Man.
Oh my God! Here we go. Listen, right now, out of respect to Lord King, this is now his moment.
You, sir.
You beat Spider-Man.
I can't hear you down there on your knees.
Lord King, the floor is yours. This is your celebratory.
Thank you. Thank you. I've waited months for this. I've looked, and I look far and far and far. And this is the first month it felt like MPDs was taking forever. And then it happened. Like I knew it would. This guy came through. Yo, it's iconic. You see that? You see that? That's funny, man. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see that? It's iconic. This thing worldwide. Yeah. Nobody know that God of War. He can walk straight through the mall and nobody will know who the hell he is. But kids, infants will see Spider-Man and go, Spider-Man.
Now let me ask you, King, at any point, because there was times it was looking rough.
Nah, at no point, not 1 point.
You fought all the
Not
way
1
through.
point.
All the way through.
Now, you know when it was solidified for me?
When was it solidified for you?
When we went to E3 and I played it. I said,
because you like not only is the appeal there, you're like it's also a good game. So you like, is that the combo that really solidified it for you?
What it was is once you touch it and you get your chance to swing, because some people, I heard one person say they didn't like the swinging motion. All right, whatever. That you guy, go away. But if you played all these Spider-Man games, and I've played them on GameCube all the way through,
the feedback you get is you swing like Spider-Man. That's not a positive. That's the only positive thing.
Man, you sound like sour grapes, bro. Like, bro, for somebody that's really sick, go take your NyQuil and go chill out for a second. You actually begged me not to talk. You begged me not to talk. So I'm going to beg you. I'm going to beg you, sir, to let me talk. For someone who's so sick, so much work.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna call a fraud on the sick. There you go. There it is.
Yo, Loaded Picture says somebody's knees are salty. I'm done.
Yo, Marco know what it really means. He know. Don't bet King. Listen, man. I don't care what nobody say. I knew that game was going to do exactly what it did. And to me, it's probably the best game I've played in a decade. No lie. I'm telling you, it is that good. And like I said, maybe I'm seeing it from my vision of the game. When I play a game, I want to know if I'm able to be as good as the character, like feel like you're into the character. I love the world that they made. This is not like photorealistic copy of whatever Spider-Man is there. They made this character up. They made Aunt May up. Facial, totally different. The world, completely different. They went off of their own script on how they was bringing this world to life. And I thought they did a great job in fleshing out all the characters so far that I got a chance to play and giving them their own space in this Spideyverse, this world of Spider-Man that they made. This is their own. This is not from the comic
going in on you. He said best game of the decade. King is smoking that crack.
Yeah, I mean, he probably might say something like Fallout, and we all know that he's skewed to his views, and it's cool. I play a lot of games on various systems, and what appeals to me is this game really appeals to me in a lot of you have a lot of quest things you can do. You can I mean, some people thought it was tedious going to find book bags, but I had a great time finding the book bags. Then you do different base capturing and implementing your moves as you build them up. You can go back to those bases to get those quest tokens. So I thought it had a lot of activities for you in the package that they gave you, and the stories were good. The world, it was ever evolving. If you did a mission, it would later on talk about that same mission in the game with James Jonah Jameson. So I thought it was very well thought out, and I just found it to be a fantastic game, and I'm just happy that it did win MPDs. I knew it would. Do I like it better than God of War? Yes, that's my personal choice. Some people like God of War better than anything, and that's great for them. Some people like Fallout. You understand? So, that's great for them.
Right.
But for me, this game is, I mean, come on, man. Obviously, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so, that was my thing.
No doubt. Let me jump in. I mean, this is like, to be honest, I was actually surprised because I was surprised for another reason. And we're going to get the month that it came out, there was fierce competition because not only did it have to deal with, like a multi-plat, people sleeping like NBA 2K every year is a beast. Like, I can't remember the last time NBA 2K probably lost one when it dropped. And for it to come out in that month, and as a multi-plat, like remember, Spidey is only on PlayStation. You know what I mean? So for it to beat that, to me, was absolutely amazing. Didn't see that coming. And then we can't understate Odyssey solve. Right? Odyssey was amazing. It was a real solid entry. A lot of people were raving, and that finished number 3. 2K finished number 2. FIFA was in that month as well, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like King said. So
what I didn't expect was out of the 25-year
history.
That is the #1 selling exclusive game to Sony platform, any system that they released.
Crazy. This just tremendous numbers, man, and that's what made to me the actual. It made the victory even more iconic because, you know, when you're talking about combining every Spider-Man game ever made and it still stirred 37% more than that, like that's just insane, man. And Alphonse, you said you predicted it to Lord Rand. Is that you guys had a conversation? You said.
Yeah, well, to a bunch of people. This was months ago. Look, I mean, Spider-Man, it's got that universal appeal. They've got Spider-Mans in other countries, like they're versions of Spider-Mans. Like Spider-Man is going to appeal to a wide range of people, and King is right when he says, you know, even little babies look up and see Spider-Man, know it's Spider-Man.
I guess not to cut you, Fun, but I guess where I was with an Addicts camp, and I got to give Addicts, is that because God of War was so, you know, critically acclaimed, it was such the mind share. And King is right. Yes, you know, Spider-Man, I mean, Kratos walked through the mall, a guy dressed up as Kratos to the guy dressed up as Spider-Man. He's right. Yeah, people are going to know Spider-Man. But I guess because of the history of bad Spider-Man games in the past, and because I thought maybe, you know, God of War was just so iconic out here, and the reviews, the Metacritic, and all that stuff, and it just goes to show you mass appeal.
I got to interject, though, because I got to say, looking at what we saw coming from this Spider-Man, now you knew right away it wasn't like those other Spider-Man.
Facts.
I mean, it looked on another level. So, I mean, look, I haven't played it yet myself, but I plan on playing it because Spider-Man is my favorite comic book character of all time.
Nice.
But it looks great. I've heard the story is wonderful. So yeah, I can't wait to get into that game.
Yeah, man, tremendous success, and yeah, man, like I said, the MVDs came out. Our good friend Matt Pescatella broke the news. The internet broke. It was insane. And Sav, you got anything else on this before we move on to the next one?
I do want to point out those MPDs are done by $ and not units.
I don't care what you put down
I want to point that out. Like, that's a valid thing to say.
Now, it is the #1 exclusive in the 25-year history.
The #1 fastest selling. It hasn't outsold anything else. What are you talking about?
Into the bushes with
what
yourself.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is your loss. Now, I don't know how you gonna hold that. Do I need to put the shades back on? Do the shades need to come back on?
Put the shades back on.
All right, you know what? Right now, I got because right now you're blinding me with this stuff. You know,
it is what it is.
This is a family-friendly show. This is the family-friendly show, and Spider-Man is not taking kindly to you with your sour grapes.
Oh my God, I can't. I cannot with y'all.
For the rest of the show, the shades stay on now. That's it.
That's what it is.
Bethany has returned for 2018. And
what happened to your Bethany segment when the Switch won that month? What happened to that shit?
I took my knee.
Language.
I didn't see that on. I didn't see it on stream. What's going on?
I took my knee and I didn't cry about it like you. Like right now, what you doing right now? You're making it worse on yourself. You know these people are watching you right now crumble before their very eyes. Like, don't do this to yourself, Addict. Get up, Addict. Stand up straight.
I brought up
Addict. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. Be a hero.
Y'all are out of control.
Be like Spider-Man.
Yo, the chat is going in. Oh my God. It's like he feel better. It is what it is.
All of a sudden, he took a Mucinex and he's straight. I think you need to bend the knee more. It made you better.
We want to say sorry, Addict. This is King's Day. We gotta let him live. King, any final words, and Sav, any final words, so we can move on and leave.
No, it is the most amazing game in the 25-year history of exclusives. It is the greatest exclusive in its exclusives.
What you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is what Sony said.
Sony said it's the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive. It does. It didn't beat anything in Metacritic score. It didn't beat anything in the worldwide sales. Like, I don't get what you mean by that.
All it needed to be
the bet
Addict,
beat me,
Addict,
but the
you
game
realize that
itself
anything
didn't.
you say is gonna get turned against you.
I don't care what he can turn everything against me. It doesn't make him any more right. You won the bet. That's all. Like, don't be trying to act like this game is the greatest game ever made because you want to bet with me. It's not. You are hardcore hyping this game up, and you're just throwing it. Never mind. Like, you know what?
Yo, the chat, Addict, let it go. The chat
You're doing exactly what he wants.
Let's move on. I'm not gonna keep going.
Addict, don't let this break you.
Let's move on.
Listen, my 2 cents real quickly before we move on. Yeah, as soon as we realize this is a first party game and this is going to be like by Insomniac and not some third party sort of like movie tie-in from Activision, the excitement level around the game just shot up, and you knew it was going to be something special, it was going to be something different, and it shows. And again, Spider-Man with that appeal, if you give that type of product to Spider-Man fans, they're going to eat it up all over. So not surprising to me at all.
And Ivan, Anchorman in the chat, don't even bring up that Fallout 76 trash that I've been seeing the past couple days. That looks like Fallout 3.
Shout out to Lady Lucas. She said, ask Addict if he big man or little man. We gotta move on. We gotta stop hitting my boy up right now, man. He was a man of his word.
He did all he was
supposed to do, and that's that. So,
but he cried about it going down.
Lord, that you won. You be acting like I didn't say you win.
Addict, let it go. It don't look good for you out here. Moving along, Lord Sav, what have we here in these Red Dead streets?
Red Dead is upon us finally. Woo! Lord Fonzerrelli, it's here. And
I was so happy I picked you as a guest.
It is.
I just want to say,
yeah, I needed some help today. I'm like, oh,
you should have saw the background words, the wording of what was going on. Like when we found out that you was gonna be on, he was like, "Yes, my comrade." And he read that streets.
Because I'm like, I'm gonna come on here, and then King's gonna have played Destiny and not played it. Cognito saying, I'm like, I'm gonna be the only one talking about Red Dead. But listen, I don't want this to be just me and Fonz gushing about the game. I want a conversation around this. So I know King hasn't played it. I know you have a couple of hours in, Cog, and I know Addict has a couple of hours in. So I want this to be. You what?
I have about 10 hours.
Okay, cool. So honestly, for a Red Dead fan, I think they did everything that I expected them to do and more. I think every time a Rockstar game comes out, because you see so little of it, and I choose to see so little of it, when it finally I have it on the screen, I'm like, what the hell did they do? And I think every time I turn this game on, I'm in awe of it. I'm like, nah, this is not a game. They didn't do this. Like the level of detail in the world, the story, the depth of the story, the depth of the characters. It's different than what you expect from a GTA game. Like GTA games are very much satires, and the characters are very much sort of dark reflections of some social commentary or something like that. In Red Dead, the characters have depth, especially this particular game. These are layered characters that aren't necessarily what you expect them to be. Even more so in the first Red Dead, where you still had characters that were like caricatures, right? They were representations of ideas or whatever. This is totally different. For me, it is a high watermark in game design, in open world, in story. And again, I haven't touched that much story, but just the layers of it and how the entire world affects the story. Is sort of amazing to me. The game sort of, like, it's kind of ridiculous what this game is doing. It's not perfect. I know Attic has issues with control, and that is a valid point. But I think that's something.
Loaded Pixel said, "Sav wants this to come out on the Switch."
Yo, it's not coming. Hey, yo, it won't get past the title screen on the Switch.
Continue. So I had to throw that in. That was too funny.
That part that you click it on the tile.
Oh my god!
You click this game on the home screen, the whole Switch is going to explode.
Y'all savage. Continue, so.
So honestly, I mean, to me, again, it had, like I said, it had its issues with control, and I think that's, all these games all these Rockstar games, they sort of do that purposely, right? It's a design thing for them. It's not like they got it wrong. It's like this is what they feel the game should feel like, for better or for worse. But that said, I think everybody's on notice again. Everybody's on notice. Like, this is the new benchmark. Try to get us. Try to reach us if you can.
No doubt. Now let's get our guest of the hour here, Lord Fonz.
That same exact thing said again.
What?
He gonna say almost identical with Sovereign.
Can we let Fonzerrelli talk? Can we see what his perspective is? Lord Fonz, I want to preface it before I give it to you. I mean, I want to give you credit because obviously, even in the heat of the God of Wars, the Spider-Mans, I've watched the timeline, Lord Fonz, and you have been steadfast on this game. So this is kind of like your moment. That's what I thought about you. And I want you to talk about your experience with the game, how you're feeling. Is it everything you expected it to be? More? What? Tell us all about it, man. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm close to 40 hours in the game.
What?
Wow.
Close to 40 hours in the game. All right. Definitely it's exceeded my expectations. It's not without its faults. The control system, yes, it is very Rockstar like. If you hate it, you're not going to like the controls here. It's just the way they do it.
Right.
They force you to use auto aim.
Yes.
It's not something I love per se, but it's something that I've grown accustomed to with Rockstar games, and I'm fine with it. Do I hope that in the future they change something there, improve on it? Yes, I do. That said, because that's the only negative I have on this game. That said, this game is pushing this genre forward. I told people this, for months, hey, it's Rockstar. It's Rockstar. They are going to innovate. This is the first game of this generation that they're actually putting out there. They've been working on this game for 7+ years. I mean, it's been 8 years since Red Dead. I have been waiting for this title. When they finally announced it in 2016, I like every day I'm like, damn, it's a day closer to Red Dead. Like,
hold on a second. The chat is going in on you. They said 40 hours. Anchor said, damn, Fonz, are you game testing for Rockstar? The game has only been out for 48. Yo, they loving the effect that you did 40 hours.
and
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. I'm a gamer, guys. I'm going to play my games. And if I love a game, I'm going to put in the work. Okay. I'm only almost 30% into the story. Okay. I hit that 30% or 29% mark. And I said, whoa, hold on. I'm not going to finish this just yet. So I backed off. I spent the whole day yesterday, and I'm talking many hours yesterday, just doing my own thing, living in this world, getting immersed within this world, because that's what this world does. It is so atmospheric. The first game was atmospheric, but this game is on another level. I have not felt a game being this, having this much, feeling and immersion and everything. And I've never felt this. I feel like I'm playing through as this Arthur Morgan character. And by the way, I've grown to love this character. He's amazing. The things you go through, no spoilers, the things you go through with this guy as you progress through the story, it's really amazing. Like, I feel like I'm playing as him within the game, and I feel like this immersion is real, and this world is fantastic. The detail within this world is
unprecedented.
The best.
Now, what platform are you playing this on, sir?
There was a point where I was fishing, okay? And I'm just fishing and minding my own business, catching fish, Fisherelli. and my horse is standing there next to me. All of a sudden, my horse runs away. I'm like, what was that? Why did he run away? And I look in the water, and there's a snake. I was spooked by a snake.
Wow.
So it's interactions like that. I'm hunting, and I put this video up on Twitter, by the way. You can check it out. I'm hunting out there. I just killed a turkey, and I'm walking back to my horse. I dropped the turkey. I bent down to pick it up, and this deer comes out of nowhere and bucks me right in the butt.
Yes, I saw that video.
And I'm like, what? This game, the stuff that goes on, and you're right, Sav, when you say that it's not so comedic and everything like GTA usually is. But there are those moments because the townsfolk, they say some funny stuff. I mean, if you just listen to the townsfolk, they're hilarious. But the story itself, it's a serious tone. When this game starts off, think Hateful Eight, Tarantino. It's an amazing opening.
Oh man, I just love that. Not to cut you, I just love the opening, full spoilers, but just like you riding with your crew, you know what I mean, and you're going off on this world. And I want to slow you down just for one point. I think we're not even really getting into this graphical detail, this fidelity, right? Because are we all playing on the X here? I'm assuming all of us are playing on the X.
I'm playing it on the X, and yes, to answer Anchor, yeah, I'm playing just on the X.
Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, I mean, I've touched a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. I've seen this and it's very impressive. This looked wow, man. This looked insane to me. Just the character models and stuff like that, facial expressions, the seamless transitions between cinematic and going, out in the open world. And it's really mind blowing in 4K HDR. Like I must say, just every single little detail and immersion.
That draw distance, right? That draw distance is incredible.
Y'all getting ready to drop the code? Because I think we at peak capacity. And not to stop the blow baiting.
Yeah.
But let's get these PlayStation fans this code for this one of the games of this generation, next to Spider-Man. Let's get that out there for these guys. Guys, if you listen and tuned in to the beginning of the show, I believe Fonzerrelli was going to give a question about Red Dead. And the code would be for the PlayStation. So he's going to give a question and answer it, and it's going to go out.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say it on the air, and they can post it in chat.
No doubt.
The question is pretty easy. If you played Red Dead Redemption, you know this. The main protagonist, John Marston, who is he played by? Real life. Who is the actor playing him?
Who is the actor playing? The question is in the chat. Come on, y'all chat. If y'all want that, if y'all PlayStation fans, y'all want to get a part of this greatness.
You just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll give it to you.
No doubt.
But yeah, so no, this game, the immersion in this game is unlike.
Somebody said Bill Cosby. I'm dead.
that man right there should win based off that.
Yo, Colbert is a savage. Continue.
Yeah. But as I was saying, the draw distances, you see all the foliage, the trees, everything out in the distance. Like
I actually don't know who played him. So
nothing is really.
Lord Sing got it.
El Boogie.
El Boogie got it
first.
El Boogie got it first.
Oh, my bad, El Boogie. Congrats.
El Boogie, are you wanting this on the PS4? Miss X? Oh, we throwing that back in the bushes, let the other chat jump in. And letting our second place winner win that. Let us know, El Boogie. I see you in the chat.
Yeah. But yeah, no. The fact that I don't see a lot of popping going on in this world is amazing to me. Like there's a little bit here and there, but it's rare. Very rare. And it just shows you that, all these hours and dedication that this team has put in. Rockstar is on another level. I'm sorry. When it comes to open world games, nobody does it like them. Nobody out there better question them because they are amazing at what they do. I mean, they flat out are amazing. This game is going to sell a lot. Will it sell GTA numbers? No, nothing ever sells like GTA. That modernized, civilization is so much different. This is the 1899, so a lot of people just can't get into the cowboy setting. And I get that.
Yeah, some people don't like spaghetti westerns and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think that, like I said, the immersion, the when you do get into the combat and you do start fighting and you get new guns and upgrade your guns and stuff, I'm having fun with that. I'm like blowing heads off. Literally, I've got videos up showing that on my channel, by the way. It's just fun. This game is just
Fonz. Let me ask you a question. Like, because when I found out it was running native 4K on the Xbox X, that blew me away. That Rockstar was able to code that well, got down to the metal that well of a game of that magnitude. That graphical fidelity, that demanding on the processors and the CPU, was able to get it into a native 4K, which sent Twitter into mayhem. All right. What did you think when you heard that it was native 4K before? Because I'm pretty sure that you heard about it before you purchased the game, and I know your excitement level probably just shot through the roof.
Well, no, I'm not big when it comes to just resolution bumps. So I like everything that goes along with graphic fidelity, you know, the ambient occlusion, all that stuff, all the technical stuff that they throw out there at you. Right. But this game, I was expecting, okay, now that they're saying this is full 4K, man, is it going to be dumbed down? I was kind of worried. Yeah. I honestly was. And I was thinking, well, is performance really going to take a hit? That's what my question, what I was questioning. Mm-hmm. But when I started playing this game, the visuals automatically that was gone. My feeling on that being negative was gone. Mm-hmm. But the performance, I ain't gonna lie. There are some moments where it does dip a little bit here and there. It's not just in a cutscene, like Digital Foundry said. It's in other areas. I feel it, but it's not anything terrible at all. It doesn't dip way down into like the low 20s or anything. I mean, we're talking about a few frames here. But it's when things really get heated up and stuff, battles and stuff. But no, I mean the game is incredible. The story is amazing so far, and if it continues down this path, I will say this: God of War, you're already slid over for my game of the year.
Ooh, it's on notice.
You're already that's already in the bushes. And I'm only 29% into this game. Mm-hmm. So therefore, this is going to be my game of this whole generation. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you now, the only way they can mess this up is if at the end it just completely drops
the ball, like the story. Yeah, that's the only way, man. To be perfectly honest, everything that Fonz says, I echo everything. Like the most interesting thing about this game. But we can talk about the bad parts.
Stupid. Now we gonna get into it because Lady Luca's in the chat, and I got some things to say. I know King's got some things to say.
I don't got anything to say about it because I didn't play it. I'm expecting good things from it.
What I noticed about what I noticed about the naysayers about this game, and again, I'm gonna generalize. It's younger people who don't like, smelling the roses and stopping. And
it's not like an addict shot.
Yeah, it is. No, it's one of those things. Like, if you're not willing to actually inhabit this world, if you're not willing to inhabit the world and take the world for what it is, and you just want to run through the game and if your entertainment level has to be at 1,000 all the time and constantly in the middle of a fight or something like that, this is not the game for you. It just really
Native, you missed the knee bending segment. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is probably gonna be one of the most watched episodes. I highly encourage you to, after it goes up, to roll that tape back and get to that part where them knees actually was on that ground, because salt was added to the knees and the blood was gushing all over the place and tears was shed. So I think you honestly want to see that from the beginning, Native. I am so happy that you did show up, my friend. I see everybody in the chat. I just had to say that because I know he wanted to look forward to that part, and he probably woke up like, them knees though. And he showed up and
good. I have to agree with Sov in the fact that this game is more simulation than it is arcade.
Yes.
You definitely have to take your time in this game in a lot of areas. And what I mean by that is that Rockstar's added new mechanics to the game where it wasn't there before. Like you actually have to eat, you have to feed your horse, you have to take care of your horse, you have to take care of
and
yourself.
they're not very good about telling you how to implement these mechanics. They're not really good at onboarding you for this sort of stuff. It's
No,
they just let you out there.
It doesn't hold. Yeah, it doesn't
No,
hold
not at all.
But at the same time, it's the mechanics aren't hard to understand.
Wait, you can starve to death?
You can starve. No, you can starve to the point where your health core goes all the way down, but you won't die necessarily. It'll just slow you way down. And you could see it physically on Arthur's face and on his posture. He's slouched over and his face looks real tired. He looks messed up. You have to eat. But you can watch it. And the thing is I hear a lot of people saying it's tedious. They don't like doing it. I'm only doing it like once an hour and I'm good. Like, I don't know what people
shout out that boy Solid Rev.
I don't know what people are really upset about because it really isn't that intrusive at all. It's just, it's there. It's a new mechanic. And I actually like that there's more to do within the game while you're, going around doing stuff. Right. And the fact that there was this one time I got bit by a poisonous snake. Well, it told me that I had to eat some ginseng to get rid of this poison or whatever. So I'm out looking for wild ginseng, and I'm okay with that. Like
I'm wild ginseng.
So I'm picking it, and I'm going around picking up all these flowers and stuff because they do add to your health. Like there's some flowers that will give you health if you eat it. So I do that, takes care of that. There's so much more going on in this game than the first one that I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I like what they did here.
It's really layered, and if you're not willing to do that, you're not gonna get the most out of this world. Like Greg Miller said that this is not the game for him, and knowing how Greg Miller is, it's not the game for him. He's not. He needs to be entertained every minute of every second, or he's not gonna be willing to sort of immerse himself in that minutia. And if you're that type of gamer, you're gonna be frustrated by this.
But so don't get it twisted though. When there is action moments, when you're in a firefight, it's fast. It's frantic.
Let's get crabs.
Oh, we gonna get into it. Look, we gonna get the other side. Lady Lucas is jumping at the bit, so I gotta get Attic in here because obviously there's another side to this. Obviously, that the game is out now. Attic, how many hours would you say you have about in Red Dead Redemption 2?
I have under 10 hours.
All right. So based on everything that you've played, how's your experience been? I know when we talked offline, you had some serious issues with the control. So give me your overall experience with the game.
I think the game's a great game.
Wow. Okay.
But at the end of the day, these people that are giving it a 10 out of 10, they're on something and I want part of it. Like, I just, and I get what people are saying about the controls. They're clunky. And I get tired, no offense, Lord Fonz, people say it's a Rockstar game. That is not an excuse to keep doing it over and over again. Like, when I was in a shootout, 10 seconds. Shut the door. Shut the door.
I have to interject when you say it's a Rockstar game. Well, here's the thing. It's a design implementation. This is the way they designed the game. This is the way that they design all their games. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But
it's on purpose. It's not a mistake.
It's not a mistake. Exactly.
I have to disagree.
Okay.
It's a mistake.
It's on purpose doesn't mean it's the right choice that they made.
I think what they're going for, with this game, they're going for a cinematic feel. They're going for a filmic feel. So it's not as important to them that the shooting feels as good as it does in COD. What's important to them is that
80% of what you're doing. So why?
You know what they want you to do?
How you tell me the gameplay
is? They want you to use Deadeye. That's what they want you to do. They want you to use Deadeye.
We got to hit the other side.
How are you telling me that the shooting isn't supposed to be one of the most important things of the game?
They want you to use Deadeye.
So, Attic, you talked about the shooting.
Build up. I just don't agree with that, man. Like, I don't. Like, last night, I was having some serious issues with those controllers, trying to shoot. Not to mention you yourself feel like you're 500 pounds trying to move around. Like,
I have to jump into Attic. I do agree with you on 1.2. I do feel I feel his point. Obviously, the controls are definitely a controversial thing, right? If you've played Rockstar games before, this comes with their territory, right? But if you compare what they're doing now in 2018 compared to what everyone else has been doing, you know what I'm saying, as far as just running mapping buttons to the run button, crouching, getting behind cover in a fast kind of fluid motion, it's definitely like slower and a little bit clunky. And I will give Addict this, even sometimes when you just like, let's say, a big firefight has gone down and now it's time to loot the bodies and stuff like that, and you're going through everything kind of meticulous, it is a little slow. I felt that's just my personal opinion. Like when I was going, I'm gonna let you finish that, and just certain little tasks, again, minor nitpick stuff, but I do see what he's saying as far as almost a little bit of molasses feel when he's walking around. But continue, Addict.
And, I just want to say a couple things. The game is amazing. It is. The immersion. If anything, one thing I'm getting annoyed with is people saying that they innovated this. I saw someone say, "Oh, you're going up a hill and your horse's stamina's going up, acting like a stamina bar ain't been a part of it."
Like Zelda ain't do that.
Years. I get it. This game's a good game. It is. It's a great game. The immersion's there. The game is gorgeous. That they definitely put, I wouldn't go anything out. If you make an open world game, it needs to feel immersive like this.
Right.
The games that have been really successful this year, they have had a huge focus on immersion.
Yes.
And that's what makes this game good. But as far as people trying to excuse the gameplay, saying that's a Rockstar game, saying that's their intent, how is it everyone else around them is improving their gameplay mechanics in terms of shooting, but Rockstar, no one's saying it?
Got a question for you to chat. McAvoy 10 says, "What's wrong with the shooting, Addict?" Well, he wants to know what specifically you don't like.
It just feels too clunky, man. Like, I don't understand how else I can explain it. When I go to shoot it feels like my.
Let me ask you a question. Does it feel like old school Resident Evil, that type of clunky, or does it feel like, remember when they revamped the controls for Resident Evil, or does it feel like that type of revamping?
I wouldn't go as bad to saying it feels like the old Resident Evils, but I wouldn't say it's too much better.
Okay. It's like GTA. It's like GTA. Like you know how GTA felt heavy?
Yeah,
It just feels like when someone even moves a slight, I can't move my person to the degree they move their person.
Okay.
I sit here and try to adjust my shot, and it doesn't work the way they're moving. It feels like I have a cannon in my hand and not a pistol.
Okay.
Again, this may not be enough, but there are some things in the options to change with the controls.
Oh my God, I gotta change stuff.
No, I'm just saying. But Addict, you're notorious for not using the tools at your disposal when you play a game. It's like
I shouldn't be I shouldn't. I'm tired of people sitting there.
Not Addict. Why do they give you options? If something doesn't feel quite right to you in the game, why does it have to be the game's busted and you just can't do things? That's why
why can't I
but there's certain things feel different to different people. So I'm trying to give you a way for it to feel better, and you're like, no, I
don't want it. Hold on. True or false? Has people on Twitter said that they've done these and it still isn't an issue?
You haven't done it. I don't. You haven't done it.
Oh yeah, you got to do it though, Addict.
You haven't done it. I don't care about Twitter. I'm telling you that you haven't done it. You haven't done it, Addict.
How about that?
How are you arguing a point that you haven't experienced?
I said I haven't experienced it, but you're acting like it fixes it when there's countless people.
But you're shooting me down before you even hear me. You're telling me no. You're telling me no.
I have to agree with Addict that he's not wrong in his assessment that the controls could be better. I agree, but
I just don't understand why people can't say, yeah, the game's amazing, but the controls are bad.
Yeah, but
I don't understand why people can't say that.
I think they all just said that.
I want to defend Addict because I do feel where he's coming from. The only thing I do feel is that sometimes, when a game comes out, regardless if the game is a masterpiece and it is fantastic, sometimes we do but sometimes journalism, I don't want to say everyone gets caught up in hyperbole, but sometimes when a game is so good that we overlook little flaws, little minor things, right? That other games may not be, that will be subject to, right? So in his defense, I didn't hear anything about the controls. When I saw, IGN's review, shout out to them, no shade, they put the 10 up. I saw a lot of other media outlets put the 10 up and stuff like that. And this is where me and Addict are similar. When you throw 10 on something, right? Even when Zelda was getting 10s, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna come in with the extra critical eye. Like now I'm coming in, right? Because you're saying
right now it's a 9 out.
But let me finish. Because basically, when you throw 10 on something, you're saying gaming perfection, right? Not saying you guys here in the panel. I'm talking on the round table. I'm just talking about like the media, the journalism, stuff like that. So again, that's gonna make me come in extra hard. And that's when, instead of me just trying to enjoy the game and immerse myself, then I start looking for stuff. And now I'm like, yo, why he move like molasses though? Or
right.
why, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. So I do hear where Addict coming from. Go ahead, Fonz. Go ahead,
Sovereign, would you toss me the code in the chat again? When I left on my phone and came back, I don't have the same right now.
That's right.
Okay, I was going to say, well, I do want to say that when I first started talking about this, I did mention that the controls weren't that, they could use improvement. Okay.
Again, the
because
round table here is exempt. You guys are pointing it out. I'm just saying, I do hear what he's saying because, again, one of my, be honest, I was kind of in the Lord King school of thought when Red Dead got announced. I said, I'm going to get it. But because of my backlog, because Destiny's so good,
I can't do it.
Yeah, I was just like, I really shouldn't do it. I don't have time. But then when I see the 10s flowing in,
but
now this becomes an event, right?
Okay, that's the thing that I'm talking about. You got games that you were playing that you put down, and you was like, man, let me jump into this game. Now, me personally, and this is just a me thing.
Yeah.
I know I still got games wrapped from last Black Friday. Last year's Black Friday in the wrapper, you understand? And I said I gotta stop becoming a collector and become. I want to do that Fonzerrelli sit down 40 hours and let's. When he said 40 hours, I looked at him and said, "I salute you, sir."
I'm taking a week off a gamecation just to catch up on backlog.
You understand? That's what it turned into. That's what we turned into. Like that's why I sat there and I said I gotta finish this Spider-Man because I thought I'd be finished with that Spider-Man before the DLC came out. And my man was like, "Yo, the DLC's out." I was like, "What?" And Bruno was like, "Yo." we were doing it up, and I said, you know what? And I didn't like how they implemented the DLC in there, and that's something totally different.
That's something different.
But I said I'm going to buckle down on this game. I'm going to finish this game, and then I'm gonna finish the DLC, and then I'm gonna get to Red Dead. And I figured by the time that comes around, I can wait probably a couple of days to Black Friday to get the Target buy two get one free type of thing, because I want a Tomb Raider, I want the Odyssey. So I said those are 3 games I can get, and I can get 1 game free out of there. And that was my whole thought going into that. And
I ask something real quick. When you guys, someone gives something a 10 out of 10, what's the first thing that you think of? Like, because
I'm with you, Addict. I'm
over that. I'm over that number stuff. Like
I feel like a 10 out of 10 is them saying, yo, Red Dead does everything that Red Dead brought to the table at the highest quality it could possibly do. That's
I agree.
Yeah, but right there,
it means perfection, y'all.
4K native on a game of that stature, that alone was supposed to make me hit the download button. Okay, that alone, I'm fighting. I'm hearing y'all guys talk about this game. It sounds great.
Let me liken it to another huge game that people love, and it's near and dear to people's hearts. But for me, I don't like the combat controls at all, and that's Witcher 3. Okay. I think Witcher 3 storytelling is amazing. The game itself is amazing looking visually. It is on that masterpiece level. But the combat for me, I didn't like.
Right.
So, I mean, different strokes for different people.
Yeah,
I mean, here's the thing. When I see 10s, that people give these games 10s, I don't like it because it isn't perfect. Because when they do talk about the game and they break it down in the same video, they give it a 10 in. They also give you some negatives. So why would you give a game a 10 if there are some negatives, right? So you always have to shave a few points off for that. You have to. So I've never given a game a 10, and I won't, because nothing is perfect.
I'm of the same mindset. I'm putting it in the chat right now. My boy Bontu from Flashpoint is saying we're going at it right now.
But this game is brilliant. It's brilliant on so many levels so far.
It's a masterpiece, but nothing.
I can tell you, it's brilliant. It's not perfect, but it's brilliant.
I feel like a 10 out of 10, you just getting a nitpicky.
Right.
You can't figure anything out because you enjoyed so much quality. You have to start nitpicking. Now the game does seem like Fonz enjoyed it, so it's probably around that level for him. But I feel like the controls is a huge part of the game,
Right.
and no one's talking.
Oh, yo, Addict, let me tell you something. I got to tell you one thing.
Mhm.
And I meant to tell you when you jumped in the chat. I played that Sinner because you said I wasn't going to do it. I downloaded it and I played it. Brother, it is 10 times harder than that stuff that we played when we were there. Just had to tell you that, and I have to take my hat off to you, my friend.
Appreciate thanks y'all. Appreciate the love to the podcast is a 10. Much love to the lords and the ladies in the room.
And I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, this game's a great game. The immersion's there, the story's there when you're going on your horse with the characters. You can have conversations with them. The voice acting, I don't think I've seen a better voice acting game. Everything on this game is grade A material, but the shooting mechanics. And the controls, but when I bring that up, people want to act like that doesn't exist, and I'm not saying
might fix it.
That's not the case. It's just like we've been arguing this in Rockstar games so long.
But that's not an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's obviously a design choice.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying.
I agree.
So in that respect, it's like, okay, am I gonna keep being pissed off at this in this game, or am I gonna figure out? If I love the game that much, am I going to figure out how to get into it?
Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I agree with Sav on that. He's 100% right. I mean, this is their design choice. No. Like, you could say what you want. Like, honestly, Attic, I agree with you in that you don't like the controls, but at the end of the day, this is the design choice for them.
Like, if the game controlled as tight as like a COD or something like that, the game wouldn't feel that world wouldn't feel as immersive to me because now it feels gamey. And the game isn't meant to feel gamey. The game is meant to feel cinematic. The game is meant to feel real and grounded. Like you in real life, if you pull out a gun, you're probably not going to be able to aim perfectly at somebody.
I'm with you. So I got to cut you just one second because Irrelevant Native made a fantastic point, which is what I was going to say. And this is again leading back to Attic, and I gotta give Attic in a sense. So then, why can't it have button mapping? Button mapping is so 2018. Why can't I choose specifically what I want in this day and age? You guys have to understand that because gaming has evolved to a point, we can give them a pass for archaic things that haven't been updated, despite everything else being fantastic, despite the most greatest cinematic performance. That's all I'm saying. That
goes back to Rockstar. See, Rockstar wants you to play their vision. No, but listen what I'm saying. Rockstar wants you to play their vision. Make no mistake.
Right.
They want you to be immersed in this world, but they want you to be immersed in the world they created.
Right. So can they create updated controls?
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying how
this Dead-Eye thing. What is this Dead-Eye thing?
Dead-Eye is slow motion. It's slow motion.
Thinks back pain.
That's pretty much the equivalent of saying Fallout 3, they want you to use the VAT system.
They do.
Just because they want you to use the VAT system does not mean that Bethesda shouldn't have put aim down sights in a first-person shooter game.
But let me tell you something. The aim down sights in that game was trash to me anyway.
Right.
They didn't have aim down sights.
In 4?
In 3.
Oh, no, I'm talking about 4.
I'm talking about 3. When Bethesda launched Fallout 3 and people were giving them all the praise, no one really said anything about them not having aim down sights in a first-person shooter. And there was people like Sovereign saying, well, they want you to use the VAT system.
Well, they did.
That's why it wasn't. That's not the point. The point you should still implement that in there because it is a first-person shooter. Like giving your customers the ability to do what they want to remap the controller is it not playing what they want to play.
I tell you this. That's not Rockstar. That's not Rockstar. They want you to play their vision of.
You know what I hear?
They give you a sandbox to play in according to their rules. Here's a sandbox, but it's their rules.
You know what? The bottom line is this: you either like it or you don't.
Right, that's true. That's true.
I'm not saying I don't like the game. I'm saying you can at least admit that.
They are admitting it.
But
I don't know what more you want these men to do.
They are admitting
Fonzerrelli started with, the controls is not for most.
Your issue is with the media and social media, but everyone on this panel agrees with what you're saying. So we got to be clear about that. They're not
Well,
living in this fantasy world.
Agree with it because I ain't play it.
You know,
Shout out to the geeky nerd in the chat. He says Rockstar don't bend the knee. That's true. They don't bend the knee.
Elvis addict think everything's supposed to be made for him.
And it's
I think I have to back you. Or maybe it was Sav that was talking about the acting in the game. It's impeccable, man. Like honestly, the acting and the charismatic Dutch. He's so charismatic. Oh my God.
Let me jump in because we went off on a tangent. Listen, I've only got about 7-8 hours. You know, I've taken my time. You know, at the end of the day, I will say this. This is like a real life Western cowboy simulator. Like this thing is complete immersion. This thing is cinematics on the highest level. There's sometimes where I just stop to see what I'm doing, hit that camera option, cinematic option, rotate, and just be in amazement at the detail, just be an amazement of this world that I'm in. And there's so many little nuances, just things like hitching your horse. And I hog tied someone, threw him on the back of the horse. Like it was just little things. And it's also violent. It's visceral. The character.
Yo, they calling you out. They said you ain't got no 8, you got 5.
Well, I got 5. Okay.
My police is on your neck.
My bad. I thought I had 8. I had 5. Maybe 8 was in the menus. But at the end of the day, the thing is, it is truly, really like it's like next level in terms of cinematic storytelling, and again, seamless transition between action and
like becoming a known thing. Like people are doing that more and more often.
Yeah,
you don't tell the difference between a cutscene and an actual.
Yeah, and one thing about the thing is like I just felt like each member of the squad I was able to do something with, and you like the character building funds, like the relationship, just going out on the hunt with homie.
And it gets more on emotional level.
Yes,
it really does. There's some missions that I'm doing that I'm like, damn, dude. Like I really.
And the big thing they touted with the world reacting to you in a very real way. And sometimes you hear stuff like that. You know, you think back to Peter Molyneux and Fable and all the promises. This game really delivers on that. Like when you do something, there are repercussions that ripple throughout the entire world, literally to places you haven't been to yet. If you did something big enough, some way, shape, or form, somebody that heard that is gonna somehow you'll be known someplace else, and that's gonna affect your interaction.
Let me give you an example. So there's this town in the game, one of the first towns you go. The one you get in that first bar fight scene. Right. Okay? I've gotten into so many bar fights at that bar. Even though I've paid the bounty, nobody likes me.
No, they hate you. They walk in there like, don't come in here and start trouble today.
No, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. Like I hear the piano and everything. I walk in there, the piano stops. They all look at me, and then they all start talking shit. And I'm like, what? Like I'm just here to get a haircut.
Yeah, and then you have to bring people down. Like if somebody comes to you and they're like, "Listen, man, I'm not here for this," and you're like, "Nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Today we good. I'm good with you. There's no beef today." I went into the sheriff's office to pick up a bounty. When I go into the sheriff's office, he's talking to a woman on the side, and they're talking about something private. They didn't want anybody to hear, but they didn't. I sort of burst in. Yeah. So he stops the conversation quickly, and they move to the back, and it just seems shady. So later on, I come back there and to deliver the bounty, and I decide to go around back. Yeah. And I go around back, and I climb to the top of there's like a back staircase you can go, and it's like an upper room. I hear him arguing with this woman upstairs. That woman is his mistress, and she's arguing with him. Because he doesn't want to leave his wife, and I guess he's been mistreating her or whatever, and she's fed up with it. All of this just continues on. So obviously there's some story thread beyond that you're going to have to deal with at some point. That's crazy. That's just nuts.
Yeah. One thing I want to say too is that every little side mission that I've been doing, everything feels so cohesive, like one big melting story that like you're just playing through one big thing. It doesn't feel disjointed at all. And that is one thing I really love about this game. It's like, and all these missions, it's almost like it means something. Like
overarching, everything is overarching into something Nice. Yeah, it definitely seems like a lot of cohesion. Now, I want to ask one last question before we move on, because we killed this topic. The last thing is obviously the X and the effect of the X. And we've seen the review. Shout out to Lord John Lenneman of Digital Foundry. We had him on the show. Great guy. And he was the first to kind of break down the technical aspects of the game. So obviously when the results came in and, the X was not only the superior version, but I think to many surprise, and me and Sav had this discussion and Attic had discussion offline, that it was native 4K. You know what I'm saying? So when that news, bro, I want to bring this to the round table. Like, how did everyone feel about kind of like the X being such a superior version? Like, shout out to Brian Altano. He had a tweet, and he's a Sony guy through and through. Like Altano, he plays everything, but he's a Sony guy through and through. And he just said, he had a tweet, and he was like, look, man, I've been playing about 12 hours of this on PS4 Pro, and he just happened to see it or get a hold of it on the X. And he's like, because the difference is so substantial, I am going to end my PlayStation and start a new stage over on the X, because it just was night and day to him. So like, what do we think? What do the Lords think about that? As far as the X's, the power jump between it.
Let me say something, because I have to go get something real quick from my head.
Go for it.
You guys know I'm not the biggest on that whole 4K talk thing.
Right. That's not true.
But one thing it's like, with the whole Red Dead thing, it's like, why can't we just admit that the Xbox X has the better version? Like, why can't we? Is that like, I feel like people's pride outweighs facts for some reason.
Twitter was interesting. Twitter was very interesting.
Bari's out there fighting the good fight.
There is nothing wrong with saying, okay, the X is a superior version. If you have an X and a Pro and you want the better version, you should probably buy the X.
But isn't it the Pro performing worse than the regular?
Well, some people are having HDR issues on the Pro as well as some blur issues. But I also want to put in an addicts on it, because I also want to put in another caveat. The reason why I also think this is bigger than normally resolution gates, right, is that Red Dead Redemption is notoriously not a PC game, right? So for the first time in for the first time in multi-plat, I don't say history, but in a long time, right, Fonz? Like, the X is the only place you can play the better version. Normally, the PC crowd would say, okay, that's cool, I'll play it on PC, but there's no plans for Rockstar to announce this, right? So have they ever brought their first Red Dead Redemption onto PC? Still to this day? Wow.
And here's the thing about this whole situation. First of all, I got to say, how's that marketing deal, Sony? Second, I got to say, look, when it comes down to it, like we said earlier, this is Rockstar. They don't bend the knee to nobody. So when they have a marketing deal with somebody, they'll throw you a sombrero and a horse and whatever, right? But at the end of the day, they want to put their product out and make it look the best possible it can on every platform, right?
Right.
They're going to do that because they want to market this game to everybody. They want to sell this game to everyone. So why would they not make it look great, as great as possible as they could on every platform? So the X, that's why I think it looks as good as it does, because I think these other companies, some of them aren't, I won't say lazy, but I think some of them are not as dedicated as Rockstar is.
Right.
And also that Rockstar has that mentality where they're like,
Destiny 2.
I'm glad you brought that up, King, because again, Fonz is on it, because one of the questions coming in when the X was announced, and we knew for the most part multi-plats would play better, but the question always remained, like a game like a game like Destiny, where Sony has the marketing right, a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, Sony has the marketing right. Would that influence the dev, right? Remember, these were the rumors when the X came out. Right. Like, would that influence the dev to not make the better version on the opposing platform, right?
I get to say this for that. Remember when we said it took Fortnite to make Sony bend the knee? I believe Rockstar is such a big company that they like Fonz said, okay, we got the marketing right here. Here's a sombrero. Here's a little holster. But at no point in time will we dumb down our product to make you happy. You know, you will have this exclusive content that we're gonna shovel your way, but we're gonna put this to the highest extent we can get it out there, and whatever platform can run it on what our vision is, then that's gonna be the lead platform. And
you're right. I think Red Dead Redemption 2, the significance of it solidified that, what you just said. Like it just,
and this is it. You know me, I keep it honest. I'm middle of the road when it comes to these consoles, right? But I have a couple of friends that bought the X just for this game.
Yes, I'm seeing that. And again, I'm seeing also because of the lack of PC port, even more so, right? Because it's the only place you can get it.
And they waited for that Digital Foundry too. Yes. They were waiting to see if it was really a substantial difference.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's what I got on it.
Helped too. That $100 off if you bought Red Dead.
Yeah, I heard they had the deal.
Yes, that was huge.
Yeah. Shout out to L Boogie. Said anyone run their horse full speed into a tree yet? Spoiler alert: you both die.
Oh yeah, I have. I was escaping after I raided like this little like farmhouse, and then I got wanted, so I was trying to like finish like just kind of scouring the place, and then the cops got there and the bounty hunters got there, and I tried to run out, and I went full speed into a tree, and then
you know what's worse? Full speed into another horse. It's like it's not pretty.
Nice. So that's all we got on Red Dead. If the Lords are good, I'm gonna move on. I thought this was interesting. We had Crackdown back in the news.
Baby, yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know how hype you are about this, but
I'm hype as hell.
Oh, okay, cool. Crackdown is in the news again, and some rumors, man. So obviously, you know, we've heard obviously the delays and things of that nature, but according to Clobrill, you know what I'm saying, he's had some rumors in the past. He actually was one of the first to leak the Microsoft acquisition of Playground Games and the Obsidian acquisition. So he started leaking some stuff on Twitter in reference to Crackdown 3. So he said that the city in Crackdown 3 is huge. Not only is it only twice the size of the original Crackdown, on top of that features 1,000 orbs for you to find. And he said verticality is very key in Crackdown. And he talked about how high the towers are, so on and so forth. Then here was the big one, in my opinion. He said development of Crackdown 3 is essentially the story of building two complete unique experiences. Sumo Digital, they're handling the campaign, both the single player offline and online co-op for 4 players, which I'm interested in. And here's the big one. He said Ruffian Games, they're doing the Wrecking Zone multiplayers that still features 100% cloud destruction. And he put in parentheses, yes, they did it. So I want to bring this to the Lords. We know Crackdown has been in the news multiple times, probably for the wrong reasons. But with this information that has come, with this information, okay, he's talking. I don't know if he's got his mic. I don't know what's going on.
Mute that.
Yeah, you gotta mute that if you're not. But with this information now coming out, you know, Lord Fonz, like, what do you feel about this? How does this change anything for you?
I'm tired. Look, I know it's a talking point. I'm tired of hearing about Crackdown. I just want to see. I want to either see the multiplayer destruction, or I don't want to hear about this game ever again. Because Crackdown. Look, Crackdown 1 for me was a good game. It was solid. Crackdown 2, not so much.
Right.
But looking at the Crackdown 3 footage that we saw, it looks like Crackdown, right? Right. I mean, will it hold up in today's gaming? I don't know. But the multiplayer destruction, that's interesting. You know, that's really interesting. But we got to see it now.
So let me double down with you, Fonz. Let me double down. What if it is proven to be true? What if Crowbill is saying it, you know, this thing is true and it does have these physics that, for the most part, people were clowning because they like, you know, they don't think it's going to exist. And, you know, let's say it is implemented in a good way. Like, does that change, or did the cloud destruction really didn't have any?
Well, in that regard, it would change the fact that we haven't seen any other game do destruction quite like this. And in that regard, I would be happy because it pushes innovation, you know. I like that. So I'm definitely interested in seeing it, but again, seeing is believing, and
Facts.
right now it's like it's all vapor.
Red Fraction did that. That's why I didn't understand why.
No, it's not the same thing. Like if you were to watch that destruction that they were doing, when they were shooting the wall with the gun, each little bullet hole was going in exact spot where it was breaking the wall down and stuff. Like in those Red Factions and those other games, like they shoot at a wall.
They had breaking points in it. Right. Yeah, but I give that up to the limitation of the technology at that time.
Yeah.
And this is an evolution, what I believe, an evolution of that technology. Exactly. Now, 100% destructibility, I never faulted in my thoughts in that happening. I played the single player game. I said, oh my God, this is disgusting. It looks like part one shined up. And I'm like, somebody turned off the graphics button because it wasn't there.
Yeah, we were not happy back then in 20.
Yeah, no, not at all. And then we played it again, and I was like, brother, if they don't get it together, this is all the way in the bushes. Shout out to Bone Slave throwing it in the bushes. Boss move, I feel exactly what you're saying. I physically put hands on it, I touched it, and the only talking point became when...
dare you say polishing the turd in the chat?
Yeah, you know what? It definitely what was going on. The talking point was somebody that was there, LordCognito can attest to this, who is actually in the game. That was the talking point. Because his likeness was in the game, and I asked Cognito, I said, yo, you gonna get in there? He was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, man, that's not a good sign. And the devs is right there, and they heard that. They understand that, they're showing their game, and these guys have pride. Yeah. So they took it back. Phil saw it. Phil saw it was probably the least played game there. Let's take this back. So how can we fix this to get it to the point that is acceptable or digestible to the public? Yeah. And I don't care how far you got to move it back. Boss move 4 years. You've been hearing it. I don't care if it's 4 more years. Good games take time. Don't rush out a bad product, because a bad product is a bad product forever. But a delay is a delay momentarily. So just get it right. And don't stick it in between like they did with Lara Croft. They put her in the middle of all these snipers, and the game didn't sell properly, and they had to drop price. And don't do that. Just take the time with this game and give the game what it needs, like a Halo packing.
I remember last year, before it was supposed to come out originally in 2017, at the end of the year, I was speaking to Phil Spencer in a party chat August or September of that year. And I was they told me before I got in there, they prefaced by saying, hey, Fonz, we know you ask a lot of questions. Don't ask. So what did Fonz do? I asked a lot of questions. That's what Fonz does. So when I went in there, I picked his brain about a whole bunch of stuff. And then I said, hey, so what game are you looking most forward to coming out on the X this year? And he said Crackdown 3. He was adamant. He said Crackdown 3 is great. It's moving along great. It's going to come out, and he loves Crackdown. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's backing his product. Yeah. And then not even 2 weeks later, it was delayed. I got back to that conversation. I was like, Phil, like, you mean you didn't know?
But he loves his product so much that he putting his hands-on approach on it. Let's be honest. I feel what you're saying, and it's funny. I will say that I gotta give Phil credit on this one, only for the standpoint he seems to be very much involved with this project, right? Because when the first delay happened, didn't we hear some that he was like, "Oh, y'all got to put that in the oven"? Like,
no, he loves Crackdown. I will say that the way he was talking it up, he loves Crackdown.
He loves Crackdown. Guess up.
Yeah, he was like he's been the biggest, most vocal critic about where the game is. Like he hasn't, ever since that initial delay where and it went back after E3. He said it like I played it. It's not quite there yet. It needs more. It's not quite there. It needs more. So that's more forthcoming than I would expect anybody to be.
All y'all wanting it to go the way it's Scalebound is not going to go that way. All right.
This game is coming out. It's coming out. For me, I'm kind of in the same boat with Fonz. Like I was just hopeful to get a decent single player experience that sort of mirrored the first one, but did some more stuff with
And
the
in the bushes, day one.
Yo, Fonz is a savage.
Fonz is a savage. How you on the
This
panel?
is the alter ego. The alter ego.
It's two Fonz. We got
It's two
Fonz
Fonz
on the
in
mic and Fonz in the chat.
Fonz in the chat. I love him. Oh my
Yes,
god.
Savage Fonz is in the
Yo,
chat.
Attic, I don't know if Attic's still there. I got to get him in on this, man, with this cloud destruction. Attic still there? You know, he had his mic muted for a little bit. Noise going on in the back. If not, we'll get him back later.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Crowd
I don't
destruction.
know why. Like, even when I have this muted now, for some reason it doesn't mute right now. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's all good. So, yeah, real quick, crowd destruction. We got some topics to fly through.
Cloud destruction.
Mhm.
It's a myth. It's April Fool's joke. I have to actually see this in person.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, I thought you had on good authority again.
Oh my God! Shut up.
I had I mean, I've been told by people that this is going to be a good game, though. I have been saying that there's
Authority king.
There's actually a lot of talk going on about it right now. So, yeah, I feel like what happened is they made bold statements that they couldn't really do anything with,
and announced too early.
It said, "But Cloud work for CFD's water." Yo, fun.
I think that when it came down to it, that's one of the reasons they don't announce stuff as early as they did.
Yeah, I think they learned a lesson with that.
Because if you look at it from a standpoint to games that are coming out and is being really like low on the Metacritic, or they being a commercial headache like Scalebound, all those games were announced in 2013 and 14. And it seems like these like Crackdown is that last one of these games because the rest have been canceled or they came out by now.
Yeah, I feel you. Let me. If you got anything else, then I'll jump in.
In the chat, though, she said best thing MS can do is for Xbox is put a real gamer in charge. I disagree, L Boogie. After talking to Phil, the guy, I mean, he's got a lot of knowledge in games and he plays a lot of games. The guy, he knows his stuff, man. I don't
think Elle is coming for Phil, though. She may be talking. I think I may be guessing.
I think she's coming for Phil.
Really? Well, Elle, let me just clarify that statement because
who else is running it?
She's not going to come for Phil.
I think what she may be saying, again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think remember there was a big controversy when they were advertising Crackdown. And they had some non-gamers kind of advertising it, like celebrities, and it went left. And shout out to Lord Rand. He had a fantastic video. And he trashed him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Elba. She's repping Phil.
Good choice.
Her phrase didn't seem like that.
No. It could be misconstrued. I get it.
No, you know how text is dry.
Look, El Boogie's good enough.
Microsoft could do for Xbox is put a little gamer.
Boss move.
Microsoft dead.
Your boss moves. Your boss move. Don't catch the band hammer, bro. Don't catch that hammer.
Don't fill in the bushes, king. It's not about that life.
Yo, boss.
He said you get banned.
Yo, boss. I have to shut you down for the rest of the day.
I might not be able to say this on air, but I'm going to say it anyway. What Phil said, but I don't care. Because he was sitting there and he was telling us what developers play games, what don't, who don't. Like he was like going, he don't play games. He was telling us this, and I'm sitting there listening, going, "What? Like, why is he saying this?" Like,
because he got to validate it. So he know. Listen, one thing
his
about
stripes is real.
A lot of these Microsoft execs, we got to give credit where credit is due. Like Ibarra, the Stillwells, the Phils. You know what I mean? These dudes game. Dan, shout out to Dan McCullough, Xbox. Like a lot of these dudes really game, and that's rare because normally it's usually like a corporate suit kind of thing, buy our product, but these dudes ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? So they about that life. So we got to give it up. You know what I mean?
Mikey Barr is serious.
Oh, Mike Barr about that life.
I feel like when it came down to Crackdown, is if they wouldn't have promised what they promised, I feel like they could have went a different direction. Because now it's like if you don't have that multiplayer work in the way that they claimed, it's going to be considered an L regardless.
Yeah,
so now they have to try to fit that in as best as possible. I feel like if they would have went towards a good, successful co-op story with like a GTA, blowed up multiplayer, then I think that would have been better than the route they're going now.
Shout out to the Lord of Salt in the chat. Lord Saltiest game. I love that avatar, by the way. So fly, so royal. Anyway, let me finish this up, man. I just got something to say on it. Yeah, pretty much agree with everybody in the panel. Listen, I hear where you're coming from, Fonz. Absolutely, I definitely hear where you're coming from. I think for me, and Lord King said it best. Like I've been on record saying how disgusted I was when I saw it in 2016 or 2017, wherever that was. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Lord Doc Cupcake though, because obviously he's in the game and he looked great. You know what I'm saying? But
that was the talking point.
That was the talking point. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna front with this news. I'm very intrigued. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cloud destruction, to be honest, that's the only reason why I'm purchasing this game or game passing this game. Like, I want to see that tech. I want to see what it do. Even if it do fall on its face, I just want to see what they were attempting to create, right? So at the end of the day, I also want to talk about the teaser, the E3 teaser that they showed at this year's E3 2018. I was talking to King. It looked good to me. It looked better.
Yep.
It looked better.
Story orientated. They showed you the faction leaders. Some of them were technology advanced. Some of them weren't.
It looked way better than what I was in front of in 2016. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked way better. So the vehicles, the 4-player co-op definitely is something I'm interested in. And the engine, again, it looks substantially better. So my thing is, I want to see what happens. Most likely, I'm thinking it's going to be revealed at this XO. At this point.
It's already.
It's definitely 100%.
Yeah, it's already confirmed pretty much by a lot of people behind the scenes.
Okay, cool. Because at this point, if it's not at XO, I don't know if these things ever gonna come out.
If it's not at XO, I think it's getting canceled.
It's gonna get canceled.
Well, I don't know, because Phil Spencer can't change his mind within 2 weeks. So.
Oh my god! Moving along, because we kill Crackdown and Fonz is on fire right now. Lord Addict, man, we gotta come with this blaze through. Banjo-Kazooie rumors, what's going on, man?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going on. I don't particularly want to make this too long, but
we fly through these last two.
XO, there was rumored that Banjo-Kazooie is getting I don't know if it's going to be a sequel or a reboot. It looks like they just renewed the licensing. It looks like it's rumored it's going to be in the Super Smash Brothers. I feel like all of these are true because I've been told, that this has always been something they've been looking at, but they didn't know who was going to make it. But because I don't think Rare is going to make something like this. So I just wanted to, go around. First off, has anyone here even played Banjo-Kazooie?
All of them. I played all of them.
Unfortunately, you go. I have not. Fonz?
Yeah, unfortunately, I played it.
He said, "Unfortunately."
Yeah, because if you're not watching Fonz in the chat, Fonz is going crazy. Like he play banjo in the bushes. Like
we got the best chat. I don't care what he said. I love our chat.
Man, all I know is shooting the eggs out of the birds better gameplay mechanics than Red Dead Redemption.
No, you didn't say that to Fonz.
I
had to do that. But at the end of the day, like, do you guys think, besides Fonz, because clearly I don't want to hear from Fonz at the moment, do you guys think that this game even has a market anymore? Do you think that this game could sell?
No, not unless they're trying to make a Mario caliber platformer, and I don't think they're gonna.
They've all been on that kind of caliber.
Well, I would say this. I think the original Banjo came after Mario 64, and it made improvements on that formula to the effect that I think it's a better game. But I just think the power of Mario is like when you think about platforming, you think about Mario. You don't really think about anything else. Like,
but I think the platforming markets has opened it up since then. People
I don't know
that market a little bit more now.
I think the only thing that's really been successful is Mario. Like you see, Ukulele didn't do great, and that was
hot trash.
The only people that this would sell to are those that would have that nostalgic feeling about playing it when they were a kid,
right?
Because
Banjo did well back then. You guys are acting like it did horrible.
It did great. It did great. I just think they would have to make a Mario caliber platformer.
But here's the thing:
to resonate.
To get new players involved, I think what these kids are going to do is they're going to type into Google Banjo-Kazooie, and they're going to take 1 second of that footage and go, "No, I don't think so. I ain't playing it."
Listen, what's going to sell the game, and we have known that Game Pass is definitely the move, is the wave. So if you like it or not, you're going to have it for free. So it's going to be there. What Game Pass definitely needs is more kid and family friendly oriented adventure games in the vein of that Mario. Right. So who not but either the best or the second best in that genre to bring that franchise back. They have it. They have Rare. Use Rare. Everybody keeps saying, "Yo, we want this and we want that from Rare." We sick and tired of them making these avatars. All right, the avatar stuff is done now. This avatar stuff is in the bushes. Now let's get to these games. Let's start putting these guys to work. Let's see. I don't even think the whole team is still there anymore. I just think they have them in namesake, the studio in namesake only. Maybe a couple of guys are still there, but they have the property, they have the IP. Use the IP. Let's start getting these games out there.
They should remake if they're gonna do it.
Yeah, well, if they do that, they get Conquerors out there. Let's get these games going.
I think what they should do is, because it's going to be, I don't think this market's not impossible to get into, but I do think if done right, could do something.
It would work well on the Switch.
I think what they need to do is they need to reimagine the very first one. And then go from there.
Honestly, these type of games would work great on the Switch, dude. I'm telling you. But for like,
the comment is not about the Switch.
But you know what, Fonz? This is where that Steam, the streaming service comes in, and you can play it on your phone anywhere you want to be on your tablet. So you're right, it's on your Switch, but it's switched to your phone and it's switched to your tablet.
Boss was disrespectful. He said he want Rare to bring the Kraken back. That's what he want. Yeah, let me jump in, man. Let's fly through this thing.
Yo, Boss Move. Today's your day, bro.
Listen, I mean, this is a great topic. At the end of the day, this is all coming from that leak, right? Lord Attic, which is the Smash Brothers leak, where obviously they saw evidence that suggests that Banjo-Kazooie will be in that game as a secret character. So this could potentially be beginning of this groundbreaking kind of relationship between Microsoft.
What's going to happen is it's going to get announced at XO, and then probably a couple weeks later, the season pass for Super Smash Brothers is going to come out, and they're going to try to cross promote them.
Right. So pretty much what it is, the leak tied Shadow the Hedgehog, Isaac from Golden Sun, and then Banjo-Kazooie. That was apparently what the Snapchat image from. We don't know if it's 100% true, but that's where this is kind of coming from. And it does kind of make sense based on the relationship. If it is true, the relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo. Me personally, this is not for me. I'm on the fine train. This is not for me, but I do understand that a lot of people, would be very interested in a title like that. Is it relevant? It all comes down to, if people on a Microsoft platform are going to pick that type of a title up. Because to switch to Fonz's defense, these tend to be kind of Switch type of titles, but Microsoft does control the IP. If they let Nintendo use it, are they planning, borrow it for whatever? Like, are they planning to actually do something on their own with the IP?
What would be crazy? If they let Nintendo make it and let it come out for Xbox and Nintendo.
Interesting.
This thing is going to be just remasters on Game Pass.
Gotcha.
But they already have that on Rare Replay. Why would they
it wasn't remastered at all on Rare Replay.
It wasn't remastered though.
But I mean, ever since backwards compatibility, what have they really done that with? They haven't really touched anything like that anymore.
Well, maybe they'll remaster and put it out on the Switch too.
Fonz is like, yo, just don't put that on my Xbox. Just don't put it on my box.
Hey, look, the demographic is there on the Switch.
He's talking to the execs. He's whispering in their ear. He's like, just don't put that on my Xbox, man. Put it on the Switch. Put it in the bushes over there with the Switch.
Oh my God. Let's move on. I'll combine the last two as we get out of here, which is two news. Obviously, first, I want to shout out Satya Nadella. He had a conference call. Talked about Xbox Game Pass. So the first is about Xbox Game Pass and expanding the market. He said in this latest earnings call that he said pretty much Xbox has the key gaming community and the monetization capabilities. So he's definitely thinking about expanding to Game Pass launch to PC. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing, which was this is actually hot off the presses. Our man, Jez Gordon, from Windows Central, also part of the Xbox too. He had put this out in reference to the XCloud. And we all know, the Microsoft Project XCloud has come out. And, we saw the pictures in reference to, the demos of these guys playing and streaming things on the cloud. So, basically, I'm trying to put it up now so you guys can see. There's these devices that are pretty much Microsoft are taking out these research prototypes, and they're talking about bringing this to mobile and tablet in conjunction with the XCloud. So this way we have more of a traditional style control, because a lot of people still feel touch controls are not where it's at.
You know what? This is going to bring back the fanny pack for a lot of people.
Yo, Fonz is a savage. So let's bring it to Fonz. Fonz is very, very, very chatty today about these topics. Let's talk about Xbox Game Pass to PC at first, as well as, do we feel Xbox users are being slighted, or just in general? And then obviously the XCloud prototype stuff that's coming out, that's potentially coming out for these mobile and tablet controller devices. So the floor is yours, Fonz.
No, I mean, it's cool that they're looking for controller implementation, because when you're using, like, say, a tablet or a cell phone, those controls are horrible, just horrible.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's good, and some people will use it, but at the same time, like I'm saying with the fanny pack remark, yeah, I'm exaggerating, I'm joking, but at the end of the day, like, how am I going to carry that shit around? I mean, what am I gonna do?
This is not for Fonz.
It's not going in my jeans, and then these kids are wearing these skinny jeans now, so it's not going in their jeans. Definitely not. So they're gonna have to be wearing backpacks or something.
But let me ask you this, Fonz. Let me ask you. I know you are the resident OG on the panel with me, right? So my question to you is, obviously, I know your stance on streaming. I've seen it before on Twitter. I know you're not the biggest fan of this, but my question to you is, as a person who plays Red Dead, right, and you love this game, and just the option to have the ability, let's just say, you're away, you're at grandma's. She doesn't have, you don't got your Xbox One X with you. You're with the wife, you're somewhere else, and you got the ability, maybe we're in the doctor's office, at the DMV, just waiting there. You can pull out that phone. You wouldn't do it, Fonz? Not for no Red Dead?
I don't see myself pulling out a controller out of anywhere, because it's just not happening for me. And I'm not using these phone controls. I'm not. Like, look, like the last handheld I bought was the PSP. Okay. And that was the last one I bought for a reason, because I decided then I don't like handhelds. It's not for me. I don't like going out and about playing games. Like, I wait for that stuff at home.
It's not out and about.
I love them.
To me, that's something I do at home. Like,
right,
I'm not
gaming is your home
line at the bank playing some Red Dead.
Right,
it be done in the bedroom and the bedroom only.
He's a man of God. He's a man of the Lord.
I'm not one of these toilet sitters that play these games.
Don't be hating on me, Fonz. Don't be hating. I'm a toilet sitter. No, fair enough. I see what you're saying. And the Xbox to Game Pass to PC. How do you feel?
But you know what though? I think it's a great option for people out there. Don't get me wrong. When I'm talking about this stuff, I'm talking about me personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing against anybody else. Gamers, if you're into sitting on that toilet playing your game,
you see how you throw the shade?
He said if you want to pass the deuce,
I'm not
playing.
If you're at that boring ass wedding or funeral, and you want to play some games, go ahead and play your games. You can do. I'm going to go about life, doing life things out and about. But when I come home,
you got to stop saying out and about.
Lord King, I'm very curious, man. How do you feel about this?
I say anything that allows you to game anywhere, any way is great. I don't care. I mean, if some people don't like the touch controls on their devices, then it's a device they will have for you. Some people, like Fonz said, he don't want to be that awkward dude slapping two controllers on the side of his phone in the street. I feel you. You not that guy. But then at the same time, I'm that same guy that had that NVIDIA Shield popping it up with that controller wherever I was at and I was playing it. So my inhibitions is a whole lot lower than yours are. So I will definitely 100% take a look-see if it's something that can help me game. Like if we're in a raid or something and I don't want to stop raiding, I'm gonna do it.
Fair enough. And you pass the PC,
But are they going to want you to stay in the raid, being on that, Wi-Fi?
Well, you know, we got rid of those the frauds. So at no point,
Okay.
at no point in time where actually men that actually have lives feel a way when we have to do live stuff. You know how it goes.
Oh my God, that's a
Bow,
King.
bow.
I didn't
That's
get.
right. He set it up. He set it up
Set
nice.
it up.
You know what he was
Set
doing.
it up. Set it up. King, what about Game
That was the
Pass to
alley-oop.
PC? Yeah, that was alley-oop all the way. Game Pass to PC. Do you feel a way that XCloud
No,
PC guys
no,
have that and not paying for online?
let me tell you something.
Mhm.
If anybody has a problem with that, they're the problem. All
Mm.
right. It's a natural progression. Don't ever think Microsoft and stop pigeonholing Microsoft into this company that only make console games and games that are only supposed to be on console. If you are playing your game on a console, that's a choice in your life. If they have play anywhere, that means who did that for you? Phil. He wants you to play anywhere you can at any time. He wants those engagement levels through the roof. So if the game sells on PC, he doesn't care. If it sells on tablet, he doesn't care. If it sells on your phone, he doesn't care. If it sells on the Xbox, he doesn't care. If you have a problem with somebody else's gaming, that's a problem with yourself. But to get to the PC market, to get to the millions and millions of customers over there, yes, man, as a businessman, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said there, King, because I do believe in all that, and I think it's great to have all these options. I think what some people are tired of, though, is hearing about all these options and not hearing about these games. I think that's at the end of the day, that's what people are really focusing on. So if they had the games there and all these options were coming out, people wouldn't say too much.
Right. And in response to that, I completely agree with that. You know, people do want to see the games, but also in rebut to that, we have to also give credit that when they do buy studios to try to address that, we have to understand at least action is being taken to kind of solve the perceived weakness, right? It's as opposed to them doing nothing and there's no game, you know what I'm saying? And then we're just sitting there like there's no news of any trying to acquire games or trying to, fix a weakness kind of thing. So
there definitely is. I mean, going after those studios and everything, it's a great move. But time will tell. I want to see what XO is all about. That's what I'm
absolutely. Addict, solve what you feel about the Scarlet controls in the Game Pass to PC. Addict, let's go.
I don't care.
Do you not care about what about, matter of fact, I'm curious though, you don't care about the cloud portability, being able to be at work with your mobile phone?
No, I got a Switch for that.
You don't use a Switch. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop. Don't you do that.
Well, you don't use a Switch to play no Xbox games. That's for damn sure. You have a fiery Switch.
I see you pulling out the phone, Addict, getting a little controller adapter. You not about that life?
No, I don't really particularly. There very rarely, even though I have a Switch, I don't really play games outside of my house very often.
Okay, fair enough. And
Days in the bedroom.
And you feel about the PC Game Pass to PC unfair, fair, don't care?
I don't care. I mean, if anyone didn't see this coming, they clearly don't pay attention.
Okay, fair enough. Solve, need you on both topics.
When it comes to the XCloud stuff, I'm not. That's just why I've always been talking about. I'd like some sort of portable device that they make specifically for this stuff, because I'm not big on the split controller stuff, and it just it looks weird to me. I'm rather than the split controller stuff, I'd rather just get something that attaches to the top of my Elite controller, and I just put my phone in that,
which is what they showed kind of initially.
Earlier, right? What they showed initially, something like that. But this sort of stuff is just weird to me. I don't know. I don't want that, which is really why I've always been talking up this specific device just for this.
Gotcha. Which still could be coming with that supposed Surface new Surface.
Exactly.
Coming, right?
Yeah. Right. They could be doing something in that vein. So that's what I'm looking towards. But yeah, I mean, if any chance that I get to continue my Xbox, playing outside of the house, and it's reasonably close to what I'm used to playing, I'm good with that. I'm definitely
down. So Game Pass to PC.
Game Pass to PC, that was an obvious move that was coming. I think it's great to continue to expand that ecosystem to people that may not, apart from Microsoft first party stuff, haven't, if they don't have access to Steam, which is ridiculous. Everybody has access to Steam. But what is interesting to me is, what are the third-party games that are going to be on Game Pass? Is it the exact same thing that we're seeing on console? Is it going to be the PC versions of those games? because they haven't indicated that they've figured out like perfect software emulation for 360 stuff on PC. They haven't said that per se. So it's going to be interesting to see if it looks different than what it does on the console.
Right. No,
because obviously you have Play Everywhere with the first party stuff, so you have that on PC already. But the third party stuff is generally just Xbox and Xbox One and Xbox 360 stuff and OG Xbox. So
right.
Don't forget they just announced mouse and keyboard, so I knew that was a prelude to that happening.
Yes,
I am curious. There's been a lot of rumor going around real quick that they were actually in talks with Turtle Rock Studios trying to buy them. Like anyone think of that? Because I think that might have some truth, because out of all of a sudden everything from those Valve games just got reimagined, like Left 4 Dead and all them. And if they bought them and they got the Left 4 Dead license and they're making a sequel, do you think that that's going to be relevant? Like,
man, listen, it's I always say, I forgot who I had this conversation with. You always have to look at the timing of backward compatibility announcements, because like we had Lord Bill Stillwell on from the backward compatibility team. A lot of this is not Microsoft's decision. A lot of it is the publisher, and a lot of times they try to do things strategically within a launch window. So if there is potentially a new Left 4 Dead coming out, it would make sense that you now allow Microsoft to put these on backward compatibility. You get the hype buzzing. Now you can go back, play the old versions, the new ones coming. It's been done strategically with Bethesda, with the Fallout series, and countless other Xbox backward compatible games that right before the release of a new version, here they come. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but with all these games in Game Pass, would they all make it to PC?
That's a good question.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Like, how do they come over to PC?
Because there's certain games like Red Dead Redemption that's in Game Pass. I'm wondering, it's never been on PC.
Right.
But Fonz, this is why I say where that Xbox app is going to come into play. Because if they're telling you that you can play your Xbox anywhere, that is going to be the portal in which they get that onto that PC. So don't think it's going to be played just right off the PC. I believe that PC will be that streaming portal, and the Game Pass will be streamed onto the PC, because your Game Pass will be all over.
Yeah, you're right. And also, we don't even, do we have concrete evidence that you are going to have third-party joints on there, or are they going to be just strictly Microsoft games on this app?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Shout out to Megatron. I missed his comment. He said he gonna sit on the toilet till his legs get numb with the thing.
I'm down with you, Meg.
I'm with you, Meg. Let me finish off this thing, man. Yeah. As far as the thing, that's the Scarlet XCloud Project XCloud stuff. All this stuff kind of interests me. Shout out to Lord Kaibatsu. For guys on the go. Listen, you want to provide options. A lot of these phones are extremely capable. We know 4G is at minimum is all you probably kind of need to run these things. And if proven to be seamless, it's an option. I wouldn't mind playing some Destiny on the toilet or at my job, or just attempting it. As far as the control things, we have to see all that stuff is to actually have to interact with. We have to see it before we can make a determination. But I do like the fact that they are thinking about it, because standard touch controls was never really a go for me, and any type of controller base. But I'm with Solve. I think I'm the type that probably would take the traditional Xbox Elite controller with me and then do it that way. You know what I'm saying? If possible. And hopefully, they bring this things to like TV almost in a way that PlayStation had attempted to do it with PlayStation Now on as an app on like a television. So this way, if I'm at someone's house and it's like they're not a gamer, all I have is my controller in the bag. I don't even have to have the X with me or Scarlet or whatever, and I can then game. I think that is very about, like, I'm just thinking about going to my mom's house and she's having me do some project, and I could be gaming, without bringing my console. So again, options to me is always a good thing. As far as the Game Pass to PC. Listen, I understand. I think, King, you killed it. I mean, at the end of the day, these are options. If you are upset that the PC is having an option, Microsoft wants you to play anywhere, then hey, get a PC. Get a PC. If you feel that, at the end of the day that they're not taking care of you as an Xbox gamer, then by all means, the option is there and you can play those at the best fidelity and, have these options. But I do agree with Fonz. The question is going to be, is the full gamut of Game Pass games available on PC? Will they get the back compat titles? Will they get a Red Dead, which in theory has never been on PC? Is this Red Dead and Rockstar setting something up? Who knows? There's a lot of questions here. So I thought it was interesting. Time will tell. We shall see. But that's all I got. Anyone else got anything before we get out of here as football is raging on? All right. Let's get into the poll for the day and let's get out of here. With the technical breakdowns and rave reviews received by various media outlets regarding Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One X, is this now the definitive reason to own or purchase the X? The answers are A, no. One game doesn't justify purchasing the Xbox One X. B, yes, the X is the best place to play multiplats. Or C, I don't care, 864p is on the S is the place for me. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when we goes out later on tomorrow. Lord J. Fonzerrelli.
Man.
Pleasure to have you back in the realm. Where can the fine people find you and what do you have going on?
No, the pleasure was all mine. You guys are amazing, awesome. Honestly, my favorite gaming podcast there is out there.
Thank you.
I listen to you guys every week. If it's not live, I listen at work. So don't get it twisted. I always listen to you guys. I love it. Love the show. And you guys honestly do some amazing stuff here. You not only inform, but you also entertain like nobody else. I gotta say it. So I love it. You guys can find me at J Fonzerrelli on Twitter and on YouTube. And I occasionally put up videos, not very often, but occasionally I do.
Salute, Fon coming in, man. The outlaw came in to school us on Red Dead. I loved it, man. This is your moment. I had to have you. At the end of the day, I know how much you love this franchise. I seen your tweets, and it's just good to kind of see you justify. Like, this is your moment. Your game's out. It looks fantastic. It's getting rave reviews, even though Attic can't stand the control. But at the end of the day, it is really a true cinematic experience.
And that's the thing. I just want to say that I respect other people's opinions. If they don't like a game I like, so be it. Same thing goes for them. Hopefully, if I don't like one of their games, so be it. We all have our own our opinions out there, and we can just live with each other, get along.
Facts, facts, baby. Talk that talk, man. That's why we love you, Fonz, and around. Absolute pleasure. Lord Attic, the man of his word, came through like a champ. Took all the smoke.
That wasn't like a champ, and he didn't take the smoke. He went kicking and screaming.
He went kicking and screaming at one part, but he came through. He showed up. You have to respect that, Lord Attic. What do you have going on? What can the fine people find you?
Nothing. I'm going to bed.
A bitter bed to knee. Do we have any videos coming from you, sir, while you get your head back after it's kind of...
Yeah, right now, the only thing I want to do is sleep. My head is killing me right now.
I feel you, bro. No, thank you for coming. I know you wasn't feeling well, and we appreciate you.
That's the emerging Spidey sense. You have been bitten, sir.
Lord Solve, the Iron Bank. What is going on? Where can the people find you, man?
You guys can find me playing Red Dead all week until I'm done.
You know what pissed me off? I gotta cut you. So you know what pissed me off? I hate the fact that you online with some game that we can't play with you. I don't like that you showing your face now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no.
He said he was going to do it. So.
And then, yeah, I've been shooting my word in that regard. I've been online.
He's not answering nobody.
This morning, I tried to get in like an hour and a half, and Anchor and Fastback get at me. It took me a second to say yes. I was like, damn, they're intruding on my time. But we had a good combo about the game, so it was fun. But yeah, you know me, man. And everything else is in the bushes until that's done. I'm sorry, AC Odyssey. I'm sorry, Tomb Raider, but I'll be in there. Shout out to Fonz, fellow member of the Vandalin gang. Thank you for coming through.
There you go.
Fonz, he was so hyped when I told him that you were coming.
You can see the chat.
He was like, yes, I don't have to deal with these Red Dead frauds on this round table. I got a fellow outlaw cowboy to ride with.
What can I say? The game is brilliant, though. It's brilliant for all its little faults here and there. It's a brilliant game.
It really is.
That's what he needed.
It really is. You can catch me on Lord Sav IOP on Twitter and BX Sovereign on PSN and Xbox Live.
No doubt. Said Boss Moon says Solve living his best life.
Yes, I am, sir.
Lord King, the winner of Ben the D 2018. You were in rare form, sir. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going?
You can find me in this New York City streets, swinging from building to building. I'm gonna be on that PlayStation until this is done. Then I'm gonna do the DLC, and then I'm gonna go do that God of War. I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna give this PlayStation a little bit of love because it was sitting there and hasn't been getting any love. Charging those controllers is pissing me off though. But KOS is coming. That's King of Statues. Check that out. We soon gonna have a combat talk with the King shirts in the T-shirt our store. We have some things cooking. And I want you guys to like, follow, and subscribe to everybody here. I gotta give a shout out to Lord Fonzerrelli, because I knew when he was coming, he was gonna talk MMA talk and bring me up to speed. I didn't forget anything that we talked about in the background and what we were trying to do with that aspect of it. But yeah, please send me those stuff about that new fighter so I can get abreast of his past fights and stuff like that. But when I knew he was here, and it's always a pleasure if I play with him in Destiny, any chance I get to have around this very good friend, because he is a very good friend, you know. I'm happy and I'm pleased with it. So when I saw you was on the day, besides Sovereign going crazy over the Red Dead part, I knew that we was going to get some intellectual conversation that would be stimulating to go along with the buffoonery that I was planning today.
And boy, did you deliver!
Oh man, thank you, Addict, for falling into my Spidey trap.
Yo, this is lit, man. Salute once again. Fonz, man, couldn't have said it better. Like, thank you so much for coming through. True friend to the realm, true gamer, man is passionate. Please follow his channel. He has some great videos. And again, if you want to see some of the best intros with nostalgic feel, you got to be subscribed to Jay Fonzerrelli's channel, man. I'm telling you right now, this man puts you in a place. I just like the opening beat. I can listen to that opening beat. I don't know where you got that beat at, Fonz, but I love that opening beat to your channel. Where'd you get that from? Is that nice?
It's a song I liked. I heard it and I liked it. And then one day I thought, man, I need to make an intro. And I go, oh, what about that song?
That song is lit. It's just smooth. It has a very nostalgic feel. I'll be bumping. I'll be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? It's real cool, man. But yeah, salute to you for coming out. Your salute. Ben and Nee was absolutely hilarious. Thank you, King. Thank you, Addict. That was worth the price of admission. I didn't know what was going to happen. That was good. And obviously, you know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody, you hit like and subscribe to the Isle on the Podcast YouTube channel. All the outlets, you know, we on Spotify now, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. All that links will be in the description. Lord Kai will have all that information up later tonight with the audio. A shout out to the stream team. We got some stuff coming. Snaldo and Lady L Boogie. We're going to have a review coming out. Check out the channel on Tuesday. Fantastic job by Lady L Boogie. And of course, Lord Snaldo. And we're going to have a new member that hopefully we should be announcing soon on that. And like King said, we got stuff cooking, man. We got some stuff. Oh, also, thanks so much for the support on the Red Dead giveaway, y'all. We definitely, it was our first giveaway. Really appreciate it, man. The support was tremendous. That really, and we're going to be doing more of this stuff in the very near future. So look out for that.
Trying to get those numbers up so we can give away systems. Exactly. I want to give away a system. I want to give it away.
Facts. We get to 1,000, more things happen. So if you're not sub, tell your friends to sub. Get over here, man. We're just trying to produce high quality content, and we got some real fun things we got planned. But that's all I got. Football has started. We're late. But if anybody got anything else to say before we get out of here? All right. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. Peace.